Okay, so we are recording. The process is going to work a little bit like this. As I just mentioned, like the horoscopes, there's a certain frequency that's established and people tune into that. So that's what we are doing in this space. We are first and foremost going to just take a second to set up some sort of energetic grid, as I like to call it, where we all intentionally choose to enter this experience together. And that establishes an energetic signature. I am, well, why don't we actually just do that first and then I'll move on. So this is really easy. All we need to do is just ground ourselves for a second. So if you are available to take a pause and just take a deep breath, it can be helpful. So let's just take a collective inhale and let go. And we'll do one more. Inhale and let go. So now just keeping your eyes closed, I just want you to intentionally step into this energetic grid. So you can just say, I am stepping into this energetic grid. I am allowing this energetic grid to include me. And as we set this intention, we also call forward our highest vibrational guides, those guides that are coming from a place of love and acceptance, from a place of high frequency, from a place of gratitude for us, and our gratitude for them is reciprocated. And those who come with whole and authentic and honorable intentions. So we ask them to join us in this space. I also ask that the conversations that happen in this space, that they stay private because there could be some raw emotions that are shared. I also ask that everybody opens their mind, opens their heart, opens their third eye to just be able to receive the conversation that we're going to have. If you are chosen to, ask a question, then that's beautiful. And that was, written in the stars. That is in the cards for you today, so to speak. If you are not chosen, I hope that you still remain open to just receiving the conversation and that we don't let our ego step in and say, like, that should have been me, or I had a better question, that we just remain open and we just are here present for this experience, and that we can just learn through each other, that we can learn vicariously through another person's success or another person's struggle. And that if you have any answers that you are seeking, that you find that clarity, that you find that insight today, even if you are not chosen, just by virtue of being part of a larger conversation where we really are all reflecting back to each other our own struggles, our own insecurities, our own fears, our own hopes and joys and excitement and all of that stuff. So this is the intention that I'm setting for the group. If you have an intention that you would like to set for yourself or for this group, now is also the time. And then while we have our eyes closed and we're in this more relaxed state, I think we'll just start with the clearing meditation, just so that we can help everyone step into a little bit more clarity right off the bat. And then I'll get into talking about how this is going to work. So what I want you to do is to picture that you're standing at a fork in the road. If you have trouble visualizing it, just know that energetically it's happening. And just imagine that you're at a fork in the road and you're trying to choose which direction you want to go. Do you go right? Do you go left? Maybe this is a relationship. Maybe this is work. Maybe these are just choices about your habits, about your commitments that you are re-examining, and you're feeling a little stuck. So as you feel a little confused, I want you to see that a deep and heavy fog starts to roll in. And as it rolls in, you feel even more nervous. Maybe you feel fearful about the next steps. Maybe you don't necessarily feel like you are connected or supported. Maybe you've lost trust. Maybe you're feeling unmotivated. And as you stand there and this fog, this mist sort of surrounds you, I want you to just feel the heaviness of whatever is alive for you right now. So again, if you're feeling stressed or anxious, if there's any sort of energy that is just feeling a little bit weighted, just feel that emotion in your body for a quick second. And now I want you to inhale with me. And when we inhale, on the exhale, I want you to just blow that all, the full breath out, and imagine that the fog begins to separate. So let's take a deep inhale, feeling into all those emotions or whatever confusion. And then exhale and just feel yourself releasing any of your need to know, any of the control, any of the fear. Let's take one more inhale. And as we exhale, just let it all go. Surrender your need to know, surrender the need for control, and imagine that the fog opens up. And as the fog begins to clear and the sun begins to shine through, I want you to look on the left or on the right, and I want you to see that one of those roads has a golden key that the fog has brought in. So I want you to just pick up that key. And I want you to just press it into your heart space, into your heart chakra. And just say thank you for the clarity. Thank you for the answers. Even if it's not perceived in your logical mind, it's in your intuition, it's in your dreams. It will come forward when you need it. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but something will click. So just give gratitude that that key has arrived. Give gratitude that the path has opened and that the fog has cleared, and take one last inhale as we just breathe in trust and surrender. And we just let go. And then when you're ready, coming back into the space, I'm going to just light this Palo Santo as we've opened this grid. After this session, I will close the grid. If I forget to do it on camera, I will do it. So don't worry. You can also at the end, well, let's just set the intention. When this Zoom closes, the grid closes. So just keep that in your mind. When this Zoom closes, the grid closes, and you remain autonomous and back into your own energy. This is some Palo Santo. Everyone who's watching, we're gonna rub them over the cards. Amazing. Okay, so let's get into it. So before we begin, Mercury is in the pre-shadow retrograde. So we've already had a couple technical issues today. We've already had a few people struggling to get into this link, and we had some scheduling issues, one of them being the interpreter. So I just want to ask if there is a deaf person here, could you please direct message IBW support? So if you look on the list, it should be available for you to find.
Sorry, Chris, I just need you to turn off the waiting room because it doesn't let me. And can you also make IBW support a co-host, please?
Yes. So where is the waiting room? Sorry, guys, just give me 1 second. Where's the waiting room? Why did they change this? It's like as soon as everyone figured out how to use Zoom, they changed the whole setup. They changed all the settings. It's like, I don't even see the waiting room here.
If you go to participants and then go to more, it should be there.
Participants. it all. So it's crazy. Like, why did they change this? This is like so. Has to unmute log. Oh no, enable waiting room is like gray and it's checked. Like I can't even uncheck it. So you guys will just have to keep.
Okay. Yeah, it's the same for us too. So it's all good. We'll keep doing that. We'll keep allowing people in, but if you could make IBW support co-host. Thank you.
IBW support is make co-host. Make co-host. Okay, you should be co-host now. So if there is a deaf person, please message IBW support. You'll see it. It's at the top. There's my name, there's Daniela, and then there's IBW support. Just direct message them and let them know that you are deaf and that you need the interpreter, and we will keep the interpreter on screen. I'm going to ask before each reading, just in case someone enters halfway through, because yeah, it's a lot to interpret by yourself for 2 hours if we go the whole 2 hours, which I think we're going to go at least over an hour and a half. So all right. I am wondering, just put in the chat. What I was going to do first is just shuffle a card and see what card falls out. If that card is a card that's related to work or love or something, then I was just going to start with a channeled reading. I'm going to keep it maybe 5 minutes. Each person, when they come up, will be between 8 and 10 minutes. So are you guys cool with that, or do you want me to just start picking people right away? If you want to do just the random card, just say yes. Okay, yeah, everybody's into that. Cool. So let's take a look at this. This is good because I felt like I really needed to start doing these again. And then moments before we got into this, I was thinking, we should just do like channeled events like this where people, and we can do that today, like where people can just say, I have a question about anything. It doesn't need to be about like your love life or your work. It could just be like a general question about something, and we'll just see sort of what channels through. I will use the tarot, etc. But okay, so let's see what what needs to come out? What is a collective energy? What learning do we need for this first reading? And it's nice if you guys are interacting in the chat, like letting us know like, oh, this is, totally resonating, or this is my life, or because then you guys can also see other people that are going through it. And then you guys can create little connections and DM those people and create bonds, which is nice. We're trying to also build community, right? Okay, I love this. This is literally what we just meditated on. I have a page of wands. A page of wands is all about new beginnings. It's all about trying new things. It's all about learning new skills. It's all about trying to figure out where we are going next. And what's so funny is that I have the Wheel of Fortune, but I have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So a lot of us are feeling like one part of us is ready to go. I know I'm ready for the next chapter. I know what I want to be doing. But then it's like, but wait, I feel like there's this delay, or I feel like I can't fully step into it. I feel like I can't ground down fully into this next chapter. I feel like I'm excited and I want to get out there, and maybe there's little hints because we also have the Queen of Swords here. So there's little hints, like personally, I just randomly connected with this new girl who's a friend, like a new friend. And as I look at the clock, it's 1919. So there's this energy, 19, 19, 1 and 9 equals 10. So we have 10 and 10, and this is about culmination and conclusion. And we just had 2 Capricorn full moons, which is also the 10th house, the 10th sign. So this 10 energy is very strong. And when we think about that, oh my God, and the Wheel of Fortune is the number 10. So like, we're already starting off with this recognition around 10, culmination, completing things, and moving on into a new space. What's beautiful about the 10 is that it's also a 1. And a 1 is about initiation. And the 1 is the page, okay? This is the first person in the royal family. He also has 1 rod here. So this 1 is also very important because the 1 is an initiation. The 1 is a new beginning. The 1 is a new start. However, some of us are unsure of where this new start is going to bring us, and that's why we're feeling a little stressed. That's why we're feeling a little delayed. I think it's important for us to recognize, because behind this Queen of Swords is a 10 of Cups reversed and a 4 of Cups reversed, and a 7 of Coins reversed. This combination is us really recognizing that there are so many connections, behaviors, people, things that we just don't want to invest into anymore, because it's like we've been trying to nurture these gardens. We've been trying to grow fruit on these trees, and they're not bearing fruit. It's not worth our time. And a lot of us, I think, are still recognizing, especially with this 10 of Cups, that there are people that we felt like were family for a long time, or maybe some of us are dealing with actual family. And we just, with the 4 of Cups reverse, we can't tolerate it anymore. We can't tolerate this type of behavior. We can't tolerate the lack of their commitment. We can't tolerate us showing up and pouring into these relationships and them not pouring back into us. So with the 7 of Coins reverse, this is an opportunity for us to really recognize that we're no longer going to invest into that. And with the Queen of Swords, we need to be focused on establishing those energetic boundaries, communicating what we need, communicating what we like and what we don't like. And from this space, at least we know what we don't want. At least we know the direction we don't want to move in. And that is equally as important as knowing where we are going or knowing the direction we do want to move in. So if you're feeling with this Wheel of Fortune and that fog meditation, this energy of like, fuck, I'm stuck right now. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what's next. Then stop putting your energy on trying to fight the current situation and bring clarity in, when clarity will just drop in a moment's notice. Clarity will drop in a deep knowing. Clarity will be a new friend that you meet. Clarity will be a new opportunity that finds you. And the way that this happens is when we stop searching for it and we just allow ourselves to pause, to rest, to recover, to recharge, and to review all of these things that we know we don't want to be doing. So if you could do anything right now, instead of driving yourself crazy looking for the answers, try to just tidy up your energy field. Cut the cords, clean up your home, clean up your garden, clean up your diet, brush your teeth, make your bed, go to the gym, like do things that help you feel good, stable, aligned, because when you're in that space, you will find a natural flow and the things will begin to gravitate towards you. I talked about this in the Leo season workshop, that the Leo energy is tied to the sun. The sun shines so bright and has such a strong gravitational pull that the sun, just by being the sun, has attracted all of these planets into the orbit. We are one of those planets. Earth. We are rotating around the sun because of the gravitational pull of the sun. And the only reason we're here is because the sun just decided to shine as bright as it could in its natural way. So how can you realign yourself with just shining as authentically as you can without apologizing, without watering yourself down? And when you are in a state of authenticity, that is an even higher vibration than love and gratitude and all, well, maybe not gratitude, I need to check that one. But authenticity is one of the highest frequencies because we can feel truth. You know when somebody's saying something and you're like, that feels off. You know when you're watching the news and you're like, I don't think this is the whole story. Or you know when you're in an experience and you're just like, somebody's hiding something from me. It's because the vibration of authenticity is so pure that it can only attract other authentic things. So you can feel that when you're showing up authentically and others are not, there's this like friction in our field. So where can we release all of that friction? Where can we find more authentic connection to ourself? Where can we learn to trust ourselves? And then in that space, we just begin to shine. And as you begin to shine like the sun, you will just attract the planets, the people, the projects that are meant to be in your orbit because they are meant to be in your frequency. So this is an important thing that we're going through. I also feel like when we're focusing with the 5 of Cups here, and I have a 5 of Coins here, reverse, which again, 5 and 5 is another 10. It's just like when we are focused on this 5 of Cups energy, sometimes we're focused on what we're leaving behind, what we're losing. And that's really sad because I think for a lot of you, these are people you've been very close to. I think these are relationships that you really, really cared about, and that's beautiful. And at the same time, you need to recognize that these relationships have expired and it's time for you to grow. And sometimes people grow with us and sometimes they don't. And that's unfortunately when we grow apart, because not everybody is ready to do this work. Not everybody is ready to be authentic with themselves, to be authentic with the world around them, to peel off the masks and to be true in who they are. So this is an opportunity really for us to just recognize that, okay, maybe we're not on the same frequency anymore and I need to go one way. Again, that fork in the road, like there's a reason that that was what was coming through the imagery. Like you've arrived at a fork in the road with some people. You're either going to move down a new direction with that person and you're not going to bring the same energy into the new connection. So therefore, these people are either going to be more honest, they're going to be more flexible, they're going to be more committed, they're going to be more loyal, they're just going to show up in a healthier way for you. And then you could walk the path together. Or these people are going to refuse to change. They're going to gaslight you. They're going to say it's not their problem. They're going to say whatever the fuck they say. And that's where the road is going to split and you're going to go one way and they're going to go another way. But either way, this energy is not welcome with you in the next chapter. So whether they drop the energy and join you, or whether they keep the energy and they go their own separate way, you are not moving forward with this frequency. And that is what you need to acknowledge, is how much work you have done to get yourself to a place of fine-tuning your own energy to recognize that this is not a frequency that you want to bring into the next chapter. And in that space, letting them decide, are they going to show up or are they just going to go a different direction? Because either way, it's not coming with you. The last thing I want to say about this is that I think a lot of the reason that you have found yourself in these situations with some of these people is because there were maybe needs that were unmet as a child, or you witnessed your parents in some sort of expression that showed you it wasn't safe to speak up, it wasn't safe to say no. And this came through the other day, and I feel the need to really say it now, that disagreement does not equal conflict. So if you are finding that by disagreeing with somebody, there's an immediate conflict, then that's an issue, because disagreement does not equal conflict. Disagreement is disagreement, and conflict is conflict. There's also a lot of us, myself included, who grew up in a household where when we disagreed, it created conflict. So we have an issue speaking up because we are scared that if I voice my opinion, which is not your opinion, it does not match your opinion, all of a sudden the whole family is going to be in a fight. Everyone's going to be screaming. I'm going to be the one responsible. Why did I have to speak up? I don't know when to shut the fuck up. I don't know this or that. And all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, like I'm getting the wrath of me just speaking up. Like, no, I disagree with what you just said, but that's not how we do it in this household. And that's not this. And you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And this is the same thing that they teach us in a lot of organized religion. Not to get into a religious conversation, but it is present in some organized religions. This is what they teach us at school. Shut up. The teacher knows what's up. You're just the student. You listen to me. So we are literally conditioned to think that all of those answers are outside of us. And if we disagree with the status quo, or if we want to voice our own opinion, then it's going to equal conflict, and then all hell's going to break loose. So let's just also leave that fucking energy at the fork in the road, because like it's time to be seen, it's time to be heard, it's time to move forward in a way where you voice your fucking opinion, and we just let that go. The last card that just fell off the deck is this Devil card reversed, which is no longer being chained to this energy. This is also the energy of Capricorn, and we just had 2 Capricorn full moons. It's the 10th sign, it's the 10th house. This is the Devil, this is Capricorn, this is also a completion of something, and it's reversed. We're letting that go. We're moving on in a new direction. So, yeah, that's what's coming up here. Let's just pause for 1 second and if there's any deaf people present, just please message the IBW support and let them know that you want the interpretation to continue. If not, we will give Amanda a break, and then maybe for I'm going to do a reading now and then we'll do another one after. So maybe for that reading, we'll have the interpreter come back and check. But I don't want her to need to work if she doesn't have to, because it's a lot. It's very taxing. Somebody's asking, why is Capricorn associated with the devil card? I actually don't know why. I think because the devil card is connected to Capricorn, or sorry, is connected to Saturn, and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. The devil card's also about like manifestation and, you know, reaping what you sow and all that sort of stuff. And that's all very Saturnian energy. So, Christina, if you see that there's a DM from a deaf person, can you just message Amanda directly so she knows if she should be on or not?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, let's choose someone. So I'm going to let everybody. What I would say is if you're interested, some people wanted to come to just watch and not necessarily even get read in front of everybody, because it's going to be a personal reading in front of a group. So I totally understand that. If you're interested, then just say like me or yes or whatever in the chat. And I'll just let this fill for a second. And then I'm going to have Christina from my team just kind of scroll through the names here and just like close her eyes and pick a random person. Oh, there's also a little hands up thing. That's cute. Okay, we can do that. We'll do the raised hands next time then. So yeah, if you raise your hands, throw your name in the chat as well. Just say hi or whatever. And Christina will find an individual. She will pin them up with us. They will be unmuted, and try to keep your questions as short and concise as possible so that we can get through as many readings as we can. I'm going to time this for about 8 minutes. Oh my gosh, hello. Oh, do they know they're pinned yet? Can they see? I have Nav, I think it says. Yes, I'm going to click ask to unmute. Say hello, maybe.
Hello.
Yeah, it's working. Perfect. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you? I can't see you anymore.
Maybe because is the spotlight off? They can spotlight at me. Let me bring you up here too. Oh no, you're spotlit on mine. I can see you. You can't see me?
No, don't know if anybody else can.
Can everybody else see me?
We've lost you.
I think you might have to change, if you go to the corner right where it says view and you put speaker. I'm not sure if yours is in gallery. Maybe try that.
Oh, right, got it. Yes, I can see you now. Hi, Chris.
Okay, so for everybody else, if you click on speaker view and not gallery, that'll bring us up. Most people, like I would say almost everybody, is saying that they can see. Amazing. Okay, so do you have a specific question? Do you want to see what comes up, or how are you feeling?
Oh my God, I've got a lot going on in my life at the moment, and I'm going through a court case with my child who's 13. She has been coached by her dad and doesn't want to see me. It's been 100 days today, sadly. And also last week, my dear cat passed away. So she was like a real sort of thing for me. Like she was my therapy. We prayed together, you know, she carried me in my tears. So I feel like I'm going through a lot of loss at the moment. All I want from this court case is for my child to be happy, but ideally I just want to come to an arrangement of where we are, which is 50-50 anyway. I want to know whether I just want to walk away from that court case saying it still says 50-50 on the court order, and then it's up to her if she wants to come and see me, because I know it's him and his new wife that have kind of taken her from me. So I'm suffering a bit on the inside, and I'm really honoured to be here. So thank you so much, Chris. It's my first time, and I'm super shocked I've been chosen.
Well, I'm sorry about all of that. I just got a cat too, so I could totally like, oh my God,
Yeah.
my kitten. I would just be so heartbroken. And then obviously daughter thing sounds like you're dealing with a lot right now. The first thing that I'm thinking, okay, well, these 3 cards fell out, and I have this card at the top, which is beautiful. This is the sun. Again, I'm not I don't want to say anything that's going to be like written in stone, solidified. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how these things really could go. However, when a card like this falls out, this really is a beautiful moment of just like, how can I, okay, there's two things coming through. How can I surrender, first and foremost, especially because Saturn is in retrograde and Saturn will be moving direct around November 15th. So for anybody who's in a place of limbo or contracts or fights or negotiations or any of that stuff, I would say aim for a lot of clarity to set in either leading up to or around or potentially just after, based on all of your own natal charts are a little different. But Saturn will end his retrograde around November 15th. So I think that we would get a lot of clarity around that time. The other thing that's coming through is that we, as I mentioned earlier, are in our pre-shadow Mercury retrograde stage. So Mercury is going to retrograde in Virgo and then move into Leo. And this is also the card of Leo. So when it moves into Leo, it's going to be a lot of reflection for all of us around self-worth, self-value, and all of that stuff. So what this experience could be triggering in you is a lot of like just self-reflection and self-value and self-work and self-love and all of that stuff. So I would, based through that lens, really take this opportunity to do as much internal clearing, shadow work, and all of that shit, because what's coming through is also like, I dated this guy once who was like not great for my nervous system, but we had an amazing relationship in a lot of ways. And then there was like certain things, addictions, etc., that just he couldn't get out of. And it was really not great for my nervous system. However, when I was in that relationship, and I'm using this as a parallel to maybe some of like your nervous system being like spiking and dropping and spiking and dropping. The reason that I'm sharing this is because what I was told by one of the energy workers, coaches that I work with was like, are you in true danger in this moment? And I was like, I'm not. And they were like, okay. So if there are moments that are good, use the moments that are good to just love this person as deeply as you can. And if there are moments that are triggering, use this to love yourself as deeply as you can, and use this example of a relationship. And I would suggest that you use this sort of turbulent moment of however this unfolds, use this as a safe tool to move and shake all of the shit that needs to come up. Because at the end of the day, even if he has totally brainwashed your daughter and blah, 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 she too is intuitive. She too senses and feels energy. At some point, she will pass through this and come out the other side. And if you really are in an authentic place and you're a healthy individual and they're not painting you in that picture, then that will all come around in its own time. Regardless of what's happening right now, the seeds that they're planting with this individual, being your daughter, those will grow into something. And they very much could grow into something that is not beneficial to your ex-husband or the new wife or any of that shit. And at some point, it will click and she will wake up. So I wouldn't put so much stress on like, will I ever see her again? Will I not? Is this going to ruin the relationship? Even if it brings the relationship into some sort of tumultuous moment, you're probably clearing a lot of karma, because Saturn retrograde is about clearing karma. So you're clearing karma with your husband, your ex-husband, excuse me. You're clearing karma with your daughter, because there's probably past life stuff there around whatever is coming up right now. And around November 15th, when things move forward, you should have cleared out at least this layer of the karma, and you should be able to wash yourself clean and move forward in a new direction. Now, what I also really like is that you have an Ace of Coins here, and an Ace of Coins is about a promise. An Ace of Coins is about a commitment. Now, whether or not this is a commitment or a promise that is in your favor from the court side of things is one thing, and that's out of our control. So let's just, again, practice surrender and just whatever's triggering, whatever's coming up, process it. The second thing that this is representing is your own level of commitment. So you also can say, okay, this is where we're at. I'm going to commit to X, Y, Z. And that could be a conversation with your daughter saying like, I understand that things don't make sense to you right now. I understand X, Y, Z. You're scared. I'm scared. I'm here. I will always be here. Don't worry about me. And like you just planting that new seed for them, letting them know that like you're going to be here. So you can also do something with this coin, you know? I do think that this is like a two-way street. I think that this is some sort of offer and commitment that that is promising, especially beside the sun. Like truly it is. Even if on the surface level it doesn't seem like that, up front it doesn't seem like that. Whatever is happening is that it's opening this pathway, and this new pathway, when you step through it, is going to lead you to the sun card. It was the first card out, which is a card of bliss, joy, satisfaction, hope, desire, childlike curiosity. This is a very, very, very nice card. It could even happen through Leo season because this is a card of Leo energy. The other thing that I have here is another ace, but this is an ace that's upside down, and it's an ace of cups. So I do think that there could be an energy of like, on paper, it looks like this, but in reality, they don't show up and do that. So be careful with that. You may also find that where you extend some sort of peace offering, where you extend some sort of, listen, I'm trying to ride this wave with you. I'm trying to be collaborative. I'm trying to, an ace of cups reverse, it could be that it's rejected, rejected, rejected. And that's because they have their own shit that they are trying to figure out. These people are also going through Saturn retrograde, Mercury retrograde, all the karmic clearing of the South Node in Libra. Like everybody's going through some shit on their own path. But like some of us show up to things like this. Some of us do full moon workshops. Some of us fucking work on ourselves, so we're not spewing poison all over the world. And others just don't, and they just gaslight themselves into thinking they're totally fine. So I do think that you might also find that this person somewhere along the way does say like, yeah, I'll do this. And then they just don't follow through with it.
Yeah.
Or like, I never told you I would give you that. And you're like, you did. And it's like, when I see an ace of coins, if you could have any sort of like documentation, receipts, proof, like all of that shit is going to be very helpful, because with an ace of cups reverse, I just feel like there's this energy of like, I never said that to you. And it's like, if it's not on paper, then they're going to fight it later and say it never happened. So I would just, my suggestion would be get as much stuff as you can documented, and yeah, maybe go from there. I'm going to pull one of these oracle cards as well.
I mean, her birthday is actually on the 20th of November, interestingly. She'll be 14. So I'm wondering, hopefully by then we might be in a place of being able to have a communication open again, you know?
Totally, yeah. And the card that falls out is I choose to be grateful. Again, with like, the gratitude of like everything that is falling into place, because especially with Jupiter and Gemini, it's very confusing. It's a lot of information. It's a lot of misinformation, and it's kind of very mental health activated. We can be feeling super busy in the mind. We can be feeling super stressed, anxious, like our nervous system could be, you know, up, like I said, because Mercury rules the nervous system. But Jupiter also rules the order behind chaos. So it looks like chaos, but in the background, dots are being connected. In the background, your guides, God, Allah, whoever you believe in, your angels, they are all seeing everything on a vibrational experience, and they know who is doing what. You can't lie. Like energy doesn't lie. We can lie to humans, and sometimes we can, you know, we can get away with it, but like energy doesn't lie. So at the end of the day, I really do think that even if it takes a little bit longer than anticipated, with the sun dropping out first and this ace of coins, like I would say you're honestly probably headed in a great direction. I don't want to like paint false hope here, of course, because I don't want anybody to be like, he said this and that didn't happen. But like, if we're just looking at the tarot, like these are good cards. So yeah, I would say like do what you can to just keep your nervous system regulated. Be grateful for, you know, the times that you did have, and meditate on that, and call that into your field more than the stress and the anxiety and all the bullshit, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, it's been 6 years. It was a very abusive marriage I came out of, and he's obviously moved on, having a second child with his wife now. But I still haven't even met the person I want to meet yet, you know, because it's just this whole blockage in my life of constantly worrying about her, or thinking if I do find somebody, will she like him? Will they like her? You know, or my other children. So I'm always worried about others, and I really need to switch that off. I think you're right.
Right. And I'm also thinking like, especially now that you've like brought this into the chat, like that Ace of Cups reverse is also an indicator that like that Ace of Cups is coming. And an Ace of Cups is partnership, love, new connections. So that is on its way at some point. When it's reversed, there's a delay. And I think the reason that there's a delay is because there are still these energetic cords that need to be tied up. There are still certain like the fruit needs to be picked from the tree or it needs to fall before the tree can continue to bring its second like bearing, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I feel like we're still weeding things out. We're still making sure that we're really closing out these chapters. And if you could do any sort of like cord cutting, removal, energetic clearing, like any of the shit that is like salt baths and all that sort of stuff, like I would do those frequently, as often as you could until, you know, November. Like try to do it weekly or something like that, just to like really solidify that you're done with this chapter and you're closing it out, because I think that there's still some energetic cords in here that are maybe delaying that other cup from arriving. So yeah,
Yeah.
cleaning up. And also your home, I feel like I talked about this earlier already, but this is the first reading, so I don't know why I feel that. But like your home, like, is there jewelry? Is there notes? Is there any sort of thing that anybody has left behind that you're like, ooh, this is taking up space, this is taking up energy, this is not mine, you know what I mean? So just maybe do a little bit of a deep clean and just see what else can be cleared out, because everything holds a frequency, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Thank you so much, Chris. I love that. Thank you. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thanks for being here, and thanks for being okay having this conversation in front of 500 people.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, I switched them off. That was just you and me. Thank you so much. And
Okay.
thanks to everybody who said good wishes in the chat as well. I'm really grateful.
Yeah, there
Thanks
are so many
everybody.
wishes. Some people were talking about
So
book
many beautiful people.
recommendations. So maybe when you disconnect, give it a scroll and you can see different things. And yeah, there's a lot of people in there too. So check that
So
out.
cute. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Chris.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, amazing. So let's do. Yeah, everyone's like, do the cord cutting workshop. It's so, I know it is good. Like, guys, I need to put actually, ooh, we have like a second, like a follow-up to the cord cutting. That's like, now we're gonna plant seeds and grow and stuff. So that's gonna come out soon too. It's like I'm excited to do that. I'm already like writing it out and trying to figure out what we're gonna do. So that's fun. Cool. Okay, let's bring up the next person. Let's try the hand right. Oh, we already found someone. Oh, wow. Okay. My team is on it. How are you? Oh, let me ask to unmute you.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
You're good? I'm good. I should be asking names, so I didn't even, I just like read her name on the last one. So what's your name?
My name is Leo.
Leo. Cool. And pronouns?
They, them.
They, them. Awesome. Okay, let me just make a note here also, because not about Leo, just about name. Because then just like get into it and then I totally forgot. Pronouns. And I also wanted to ask about where are you? Where are you calling from?
I'm in Los Angeles.
Oh, amazing. Cool. All right, let's get into it. Do you have a specific question about anything in your life, about anything at all, or do you want to just see what comes out?
I feel like after the opening that you did, I would love to just see what comes up, because I feel pretty happy with the release and the opening up. So
Cool. Okay, let's do it. I have 2 decks here. Which one do you want me to use?
the one with the face sun.
This one?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. All right. I'm going to also, I'm going to pull 2 oracle cards, but I'm not going to flip them yet. I'm going to start the timer. Well, this would be the second 7:50. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think about 8 minutes is going to get us to probably 10 people or so, which is good. So let's see what is coming up. You said Leo?
Mm.
Let's coming up for Leo? What is coming up for Leo? You tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Stop? Okay. From the top or from the middle?
Top.
Okay, so this is a different deck. And the first card out, which is really interesting because I'm getting two different things here, is flirtation, but it's flirtation reversed. So I feel like there could be a couple things happening. And it's somehow a little bit of both. It's the energy they're feeling. One of them is like, okay, there's three things coming through. One of them is I need to call my energy back into myself, and I want to just focus more on pouring back into me for a second instead of pouring into the relationships around me or trying to, I don't know if flirt is the right word. Maybe there is some flirtation there, but also this idea of like, I need to stop trying to get these people, these things, these external sort of like either validations or I'm here asking you like, do you see me? Do you see me? Do you see me? And this is like, I don't fucking need you to see me. I see me. And this is an opportunity to turn all of that internally. The second thing that this is an opportunity to do is to use that flirtatious energy, but in a way that is, I'm flirting with life. I'm flirting with the universe. I'm flirting with my guides. I'm flirting with God. I'm flirting with whomever I connect with. And this is an opportunity for you to be like, okay, you know, show me a sign. Give me this. I want to go out. Maybe your intuition calls you to go somewhere, try a new workshop, go to some sort of thing that you've been invited to. And then you meet the right person who connects you with somebody. And it's just like, but you're not taking it too seriously. You're not putting the pressure on that. I need the answer. I need to find this. It's just like letting go of all of the pressure, if that makes sense. And being able to just like, no, I'm not going to drain my energy by trying to have other people see me in the way that I want them to see me. It's like, I'm going to just be who I am, like that Leo season energy that we talked about, like the sun is just shining, like by me just being me and being authentic, that will naturally bring in these people that are like, I fucking like their vibe. I like this person. I want to be around this person. And that just attracts like-minded people. You know what I mean? So when I'm seeing this flirtation energy, especially being reversed, I feel like, and this isn't forever, this is just like, give yourself 30 days or 60 days or 2 weeks and just be like, 30 days, all of my love, joy, excitement, curiosity is going to be poured back into me. And I'm going to get out there and explore deeper layers of myself. I'm going to get out there and explore what I like to do and who I really am. And the things that, like, maybe there's hobbies that you haven't even recognized that you are into because you've never had an opportunity to explore them. Or there could be hobbies and things that you've put on the back burner and you're like, wait a second, I need to like get back into these things because these brought me a lot of joy. And instead of me like staying home and studying a language or staying home and doing X, Y, Z, I feel the need to like hop on Instagram and see if this person's going to respond. Or I feel the need to like, hey, did you want to go out? Or do you want to do this? Or I'm trying to put myself in a place where I can, and it's like, the energy needs to go from like out to like in and just like being really kind of more autonomous with like where you want to spend your time and energy and not necessarily trying to convince other people to join you in any of that, just doing it because you actually like fucking doing it. The card that I have here that just came out reversed is isolation. So I also feel like getting out more, like seeing what the world has to offer. And again, this is that idea of like flirting with life. Like go try something totally fucking new. Like go rock climbing, go take a pottery class, go fucking learn how to do like a unicycle on the beach or some shit, you know, just like the dumb shit that's like, oh, this sounds fun. This sounds like it's a little bit nerve-wracking and it's putting me out of my comfort zone. But what that does is it starts to shake up your frequency and it starts to attract other people in, because as you do things that are outside of your normal frequency, you begin to crack open. And this is where more light comes in. This is where your frequency begins to change. And then you start attracting people into the adjustments of that fine tuning. So I would definitely I would definitely see what else is out there. The last card I have here too is Power reverse, and then these three fall out, or these four actually. So Power reverse. Okay, this is getting way deeper now. The Power reverse is a card of Scorpio, the moon in Scorpio. This is 8th house, so this is deep subconscious programming. So when I see it reversed, there's also a lack of belief in my own self-power, a lack of belief in my own, whoa, I really can do this. And I think a lot of that comes from these other cards. The other cards that I have here are Influence reverse, which is like, what I'm hearing around this is just like, fuck the world around me, fuck what people say, fuck these people, I don't fucking care. And then I also have Authority here, which is like, fuck what these authority figures think, or fuck what there's like this aggressive energy of like, I just want to, like, pardon this example, like this is, I don't like this example, but this is what they're showing me, but it's just like, I just want to like take everybody out, you know, it's like this like just violent kind of like wipe it out. I want to just get the fuck away from this. And I think that it's not just actual people maybe that are in your life. It could be definitely some of that, but I also think that it's this deep rebirth needed around the parts of ourself that we have kept hidden for so long, because I have secrets and I have caution. And I feel like for so long, there's this energy of like, authority, can't let them see this, can't let them see that. How do I like navigate in this? Like they're showing me like your mouth is zipped. And it's like, ooh, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to express this. I'm not going to share that. I'm not. And in that turn, all of these secrets that not necessarily are like malicious secrets, but it's just like secretive energy. It's energy of like, ooh, I have to move in the shadows. I have to not be seen. I have to not be heard. I have to not, you know what I mean? And I think that has lent itself to being extra cautious. But then when we're in that space, we start to second guess our own power. We start to second guess who we are and what we're capable of, because we have all this fear programming that is making us feel like, no, I can't say something. I can't stand up. I can't speak for myself. I'm not allowed to do A, B, C. There's all these fucking limitations, but these limitations are external limitations from authority figures that should not have been influencing you in that way, regardless. So it's like also reflecting on relationship with parents, with society, with structures, with any sort of past lovers who had like maybe strong, they could be male, female, it doesn't matter, but like this strong masculine energy in a negative way, which is like either oppressive or abusive or overbearing, or you know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
like that has left this scar, so to speak, and that scar makes me then second guess my own power. And because I'm second guessing my own power, I'm now moving in the shadows, so I'm not seeing. And it's just like this whole fucking thing just needs to go, because it's such bullshit in your fucking mind that has been like, and I'm sure there's like, you know, lived experiences that are like, okay, but you know, this kind of validates that and this kind of validates that. And it's like, sure, but at some point we need to release the idea of like, well, you know, last month or 10 years ago, this person validated that insecurity of mine, so that's just me and I have to carry this for the rest of my fucking life. And it's like, no, we don't. And that's what Saturn retrograde is trying to teach us. That's what Mercury retrograde is trying to teach us. Mercury retrograding in Virgo first is asking you, whose bullshit are you digesting? So what are you listening to? What are you watching? What conversations are you having? What are you putting in to your body, to your mind, to your soul? And what are you digesting? Is it truth? Is it fake? Is it just fucking bullshit that we've been fed? And then as we begin to recognize all of these things that we've been ingesting that are just bullshit, Mercury will retrograde into Leo. And when Mercury enters Leo, it'll be like, fuck yes, I remember who the fuck I am. I remember my power. I remember that I am XYZ, and that I can achieve things, and I can do hard things, and I can fucking stand up. And you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Mercury retrograding in Leo is a reminder of who the fuck we are and all of our power. And before we get there, we get to assess everything we've been digesting, which is just all the bullshit from everybody else. And then also looking at our own habits, our lifestyle choices. Do we drink? What are we eating? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you might want to also, like, for everybody, you might want to also re-examine choices around health and things like that. And then just see if those habits and behaviors are aligned with who you are at this stage, because everything is spiralic. So when we hit this Leo season, which we are now in, we have an opportunity to let go of all that shit and to recognize who we are now. And that's a different version than who you are last year. So that means that your boundaries, your understanding of self, your habits, it all needs to change. The cards that I pulled are, I surrender to the universe's plan for me.
Mm.
And then the other one is a time for healing. So I would, again, take all of that flirtatious energy, or like, I'm looking here, I'm looking there, and just like, I don't fucking need that. I want to flirt with myself. I want to feel so fucking cool with myself, you know, and then like,
Yeah.
surrender to like this moment of the plan. And this moment of the plan is like what we just talked about. And that'll shift again in, you know, a couple weeks or maybe a month or whenever the timeline naturally shifts. And then you'll feel, okay, fuck, I am ready to get back out there and to start like actually flirting and dating and seeing people and whatever. And like, you'll notice the shift when it happens naturally. But right now, like, a time for healing, a time for release, clearing that shit, and just like bringing all of that external energy back into myself so that I can feel really good about myself. I would say like the next 6 to 8 weeks would be great, because that's that Mercury retrograde that I just talked about. And then that brings you into the fall. So like, yeah, maybe around September, you'll be like, okay, I feel alive again. I feel more aligned with who I really am, and et cetera, you know?
Yeah, no, it resonates like wildly. Like, my birthday is next Monday. I've been in a new flirtation the past week, and I'm feeling like, am I slipping into like wanting this person's attention? But it's fun. I have an enormous work project that is like a big level up, and it has a lot of, I'm leading it. I have a lot of people involved, and it's stressful, and definitely the self-doubt and the like old thoughts and the hiding. And I'm 7 years in recovery, and so I've spent a lot of time isolating to new routines. So thank you. That's just affirming everything that you were saying.
Amazing.
Definitely hit. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And everybody is saying happy birthday. And Leo season is, yeah, just upon us. I'm seeing like
Yes.
some things in here about sex magic. I don't know what people are talking about, but yeah.
I'll have to
Check out the
scroll through
comments.
and read.
Yeah, so thank you for being here.
Thank you very
You're
much.
very welcome. I'm going to just turn on my air conditioning because I'm sweating. I'll let Christina take Leo down and then bring up the next person, and we'll jump right in. If there is a deaf person here needing the interpreter, let us know so that we can. Sorry, I think I have to. Oh, there we go. If not, the interpreter will take a break. Okay. No, you're outside. As soon as you come in here, you'll be meowing all freaking day. Hello. Oh, I need to unmute you. 1 second. I can do this. Ask button. Oh, I knew I shouldn't have caught you. Yeah.
Hi.
You want to come say hello? Say hello to everybody. This is
Hello.
Loki. He's a crazy cat. Don't climb on my head. Oh my god. He always climbs on my hat, and then his claws go right into the net, and he's just like right into the top of my head. Okay. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
What's your name?
Alina,
Alina. Amazing. Your pronouns?
she, her.
She, her. And where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Düsseldorf in Germany.
Oh, cool. Amazing. Do you have a specific question? Do you want to just see what naturally comes up, or how are you feeling?
I actually do have a specific question, and I did actually come here today because I was hoping for some clarity on that. So I feel like I have manifested and called in a lot of abundance in a lot of different parts of my life. The only thing that's really not feeling aligned and where I keep running into roadblocks and not feeling authentic, as you were talking about, is my career, my work. And I really feel like it has something to do with purpose in general. So I was really hoping to hear something about that today.
Okay, so we're looking at work and career blocks around just things not feeling aligned fully for you, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the first card while I was shuffling that pops out is the Nine of Cups reverse, which really is a conversation around, I don't know if I like all these things. I don't know if I need all these things, if I want all these things. The Nine of Cups, when it's upright, really is an energy of emotional satisfaction on all levels. It's about abundance and being able to pour over into the people around us and just having enough to share. It can also be an energy of like gluttony and selfishness and all of that stuff. However, when I'm seeing it reversed, you might find that there are certain people that are in your energy field work-wise where you are recognizing maybe that they are gluttonous, or they are selfish, or they are not necessarily as giving, and you feel like, well, if I'm pouring into you, why are you not pouring back into me in the same capacity? And I feel like this is potentially, okay, there's two things coming up. This is potentially tied to it could be like an intergenerational thing or something that comes from family. This could also be something that stems from earlier relationships and that type of thing. But when we get into this idea of like, my needs are not being met, however, I feel obligated in staying, or I feel that if I leave, everything will fall apart. So my ego puts the pressure on me to stay in this situation, although I'm recognizing this really isn't for me, this really isn't feeling good. But a lot of that can be deeply tied to our subconscious beliefs about ourselves, that we need to be the peacekeeper, that we need to be the one who is, I'm over here and I'm dancing and I'm smiling. Are you happy? Okay, perfect. Oh my God, another person, I'm gonna dance and smile. Like, are you happy? Okay, perfect. Oh God, another person. And it's like, but we lose ourselves in that. And the reason we lose ourselves in that is because we're not even fucking there. We're not smiling and dancing all the time. And when we're so busy smiling and dancing to keep the peace, we're actually watering down our experience. We're watering down our own emotions. We're watering down our own desires and needs. And I feel like the South Node in Libra right now is really asking us to stop people pleasing. It's really asking us to let go of any of these old ways of watering ourselves down so that other people can be comfortable, so that other people can be in a space of having their needs met. It's like, oh, I have to walk on eggshells so that their emotions stay balanced. But if I'm not walking on eggshells, then all hell breaks loose. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm going to walk on eggshells. Therefore, I am deprioritizing my experience, my emotions, so that I can cater to your emotions, which again falls back into this idea of people pleasing. Now, a lot of this is also rooted in a fear around not being accepted into some sort of group, not being accepted into the family unit, not being accepted into society or whatever. And this comes up for a lot of people who have experienced being othered. So like, I'm a gay man. I grew up, I've always felt separate. So in order for me, and this is just by no fault of your own, but we all experience this to some degree. And this is where I think we all need to be really aware of where this comes up, because this is what we're letting go of with the South Node in Libra. But we all, at some point and some place, feel separate. So when we feel separate, what do? We are hardwired as humans for survival. And traditionally, like, you know, when we were cavemen and all this shit, when we were living in tribes and all this stuff, like, the safest we were was in the tribe. The safest we were was in the group. The safest we were was in the clan. If we are out of that, all of a sudden we perceive that as being a threat. We perceive that as I am in danger. So what do? We lie, we smile, we actually manipulate the people around us for safety. And manipulation, people always think it's like, you know, I'm going to do this really sneaky fucking thing. And that's not always manipulation. Manipulation is like smiling and like, oh, sure. Yeah, I can stay late today to work because like, of course. And it's like, or yeah, I can take on another project, or don't worry, I'll take care of this, or what. And it's like, that's also manipulation because you don't actually want to fucking do that. You don't have the fucking capacity to do that. You don't have the energy, the time, and you have no interest. However, you're smiling and we're saying, yes, I'll do it for sure. And we're actually abandoning ourselves so that we can manipulate this person into thinking that we want to be their support. In turn, we are exchanging our fake support for being part of the crowd, which allows us to feel safe and secure within this environment and this network. So I have the Fool reversed, which is definitely a new beginning, which is definitely an opportunity to take a leap of faith. There is fear around taking the leap of faith. There is fear around, will I fuck everything up? Will the universe catch me? If I close my eyes and jump, will somebody be there to receive me and to bring me to the next place? And the answer is always yes, because that is what this world is designed for. Not on like a man-made level, on an energetic level, the universe is designed like big risk equals big reward. Like that type of saying is a very real thing. And when we take a leap of faith and we show the universe that we're fucking ready to do it, the universe is ready to catch us. But we need to show it in our frequency by actually committing to the shift and moving into it. That can be fucking terrifying. That can also take time. And I don't think that you need to do that or that anybody should do that in a way that does not check off sort of, you know, if not all, the majority of your like Haslow hierarchy of needs, if you guys know what that is, which is like safety, home, food, all of that stuff. So would I suggest that like right now you call your boss and say fuck off and quit your job? Like, no. But what I would suggest is that between now and November 15th with Saturn retrograding, you really start first and foremost cutting and clearing the energetic cords and attachments to the workplace, to the project, to the people. You can literally visualize the work space as like an orb of energy and unplug from it. Communicate to your guides, I'm unplugging from this and I want to plug into something more aligned. I want to plug into something that fills me with purpose. I want to plug into something that sparks curiosity and joy. So that level of meditation is really helpful. And then the second thing would be to also unplug from any past versions of yourself that still believe you have to water down your own desires so that other people can live their dreams. Where do you self-abandon so other people can do whatever they want to do? Where do you not speak up so other people don't have to make adjustments and be uncomfortable? Because you're so willing to make yourself uncomfortable for the comfort of others, but you're not willing to make them uncomfortable for your own comfort. And that's a fucking problem. Because, and it's not like you're a bad person. It's just like you, like so many of us, myself included, have been conditioned to self-sacrifice for other people. Because, and here's a really good example. Chris, little Chris, I'm 5 years old. No, not 5. Let's say I'm 10 years old. I'm 10 years old. Go clean your room. No, I don't want to clean my room. I'm dancing in the basement. I'm making a musical to the Lion King. Like, this is so me. I'm like, I'm doing the Lion King dance. I don't want to go clean my room. No, go clean your fucking room. I don't want to clean my room. If you don't clean your room, you're not getting dinner, you're not going outside, and you won't be able to watch The Lion King for a fucking week. Go clean your room. Okay. And then I go clean my room. And when my room's clean, what happens? They come in and they go, good, that's a good boy. Good, Chris. That's good, Chris. And now I am fully absorbing, oh, I'm only good, I'm only accepted, I'm only lovable, I'm only appreciated when I'm doing what you want me to do, not when I'm living my expression of wanting to dance the fucking Lion King in the basement. So it's like, we experience this. Think about how many times any of us have experienced that from age what, 5 when you can start walking and talking to age fucking 20, 15 years of like, Chris is only good, Chris is only lovable when he's a good boy and he listens and all this shit. So not to get so far away from your question around purpose, but where do you have space for purpose when you're so concerned to committing to making other people think you're a good girl? And it's like, this is fucking nothing to do with me. I don't want to clean my fucking room. Go clean my fucking room if it's such a big deal for you. You know what I mean? And as a child, like, I mean, I would never say that, especially my dad. I would have been thrown in a fucking closet. But it's like, now I have an issue wanting to speak up for myself. So it's like, reflect on where that type of thing has happened in your past and talk to that version of yourself at that age and tell them, you can dance to the Lion King all you want. Don't worry about your room. And then the part of you that's like, I'm only a good person when I listen to you, when I follow the authority figures, unplug, cut the cord from that concept. And this is really helpful. Cut the cord from that concept, cut the cord from that energy, and let all of that shit just fucking go, because that's not you. That has nothing to do with you. That is what other people project onto you, that they want their perfect little daughter to be, that they want all the little rules to be followed. And it's like, my best friend was German, and no offense, but the Germans love like an orderly conduct. So like, I can only imagine that like also growing up in German schools and all of this sort of stuff, if that's where you were from, there was probably a lot of like, don't talk back, do this. You know, like, you're only good when you get the A on the test and your answers match our questions. It's like, no. Like, there are so many answers for so many questions, and there's such a spectrum of color that we are not allowed to experience as children, because there's literally structures that are intentionally conditioning us to be good workers and good shit. So like, where in your life, and again, I hope this sort of comes full circle for you at some point, that like, where in your life is all of that still so present subconsciously that you can just fucking clear it so that you have more space to be like, oh, whoa, I can breathe. What do I actually want to do? How can I start saying no? How can I start establishing boundaries? How can I start, kind of like what I just talked about with Leo, like, how can I start just exploring myself in different ways? Like, are there old hobbies that you put on the back burner? Maybe you grew up and you love to be a ballerina, and then you stopped dance classes, and now you're like, I just want to go take a dance class again. Go take a fucking dance class again. Not because all of a sudden your passion in your career is just going to spark from taking one dance class, but it's just going to start rewiring the way your brain works. It's going to start allowing your energy to flow and for you to express yourself in different ways. And then that opens up a whole new field of possibility. And that is when you start, like I talked about in the Leo season workshop, your sun is shining. People get attracted to you. Your passion, your purpose will find you when you are in flow. And your flow is just your natural fucking state of being, not you trying to be the person that you parents wanted you to be, or that society, or that your teachers, or all this fucking bullshit, or your boss. And it's like, so what can you do realistically? Because we also have to sleep and eat and shit and shower and all the fucking bullshit. We're all human, so things down here take time. So it's like, how can you between now and November 15th start doing some deep clearing around all of those programs? How can you also make it very fucking clear to your guides and the universe, you don't want to be working here anymore. I'm not working here. I am here right now just for a paycheck. And how can you also ideally save up enough money, create some sort of little like nest egg that will hold you for, 90 days or like 3 months or 4 months or something like that. And like, if you can begin to create an exit strategy, at least energetically, and then get to a point where, next year at some point, or if you can do it in November, amazing. I know Christmas and January and everything gets a little expensive. So like, just really do it properly, but like, make the commitment to change, talk to the universe about wanting to do that, and then also start saving money so that like, if at some point you're like, okay, I'm out December 31st, then you know that you've got 90 days to go find a job. You can pay your rent, you can still eat. And yeah, things might be a little tight, like whatever. When I first moved to Portugal, I literally moved here with $6,000 in my bank account. And then I started doing workshops and I was making like $1,000 a month. Like it wasn't great. And like now I've literally built like an entire fucking insane level of just everything. And it's like all of the abundance will come. And that came because I started doing fucking tarot card readings. Like, you know what I mean? When I told my mom I want to be a tarot card reader, she'd be like, are you crazy? And now like her and my stepdad, like they own the accounting firm and they're like, holy shit, like you're doing all this with tarot cards? They're like, yeah, mom, like it's purpose, it's flow, and the money will always come. The resources will always come. But like, you need to get out of your own way with these old fucking programs because that shit is just, it's totally like fogging how you're seeing your ability to set boundaries with the people around you.
Wow. Yeah, amazing. I mean, if I tell you my signs now, you're going to laugh so hard because it's so accurate. It's almost cliche. I'm an Aquarius sun, Aries moon, Sagittarius rising. So inadequacy, being misunderstood, hating to be told what to do.
Yeah.
It's, but yeah, all of it. But
So your
yeah,
passion
it's,
probably lies in you telling people to fuck off, reestablishing boundaries, reinventing the wheel. Like that's probably where you will eventually fall into a place of, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And
but
how
it's,
do you get there when everybody's telling you like, no, that doesn't match what we need. You need to shut the fuck up and do what we're telling you to do. Like you're not wired for that.
no, I need to get out of that mindset, out of that yeah, codependency on what everybody else, how they see me, what they think or what they might think. They might not even think it, but I'm thinking, they're thinking it. That's just,
No,
you
and
know,
like they're gonna talk about you either way.
yeah.
And some of them will probably be like, huh, she always says yes when I ask her, huh, look at her, fucking fool. You know what I mean? And it's like, so
Yeah.
even when they ask you to do something and you still show up trying to be like, oh, fine, I'll just do it. You feel like, fuck, why am I doing this? And then they sit there being like, idiot. And you're like they're not even walking away from that being like, oh, she's so sweet. I'm so grateful.
I
They're probably
know.
like, this bitch is doing all my work and I don't give a shit. You know, like, no, that's not cool.
Yeah, crazy. It's so accurate, like all of it. It, yeah, refers to more parts than just the work. It's like an overarching theme
Yeah, it
over so
typically
many
layers
things,
into other things because how we do one thing is really how we do everything. So like,
obvious.
what's going on, what needs to change, and then how do you tighten up your entire frequency, right?
Yeah.
The other thing that I just wanted to say is that the card that you got was let go, let go, let go. Okay, so that was the one that came out.
Well, what can I say? I just need to let it go. Yeah,
Let it go.
crazy.
But
That's the, I
do
was
it when it's
meditating on let it go for a couple of months now.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely do like I have a cord cutting workshop. You don't have to do mine, but go and just even Google how to release cords or something. But this idea of cutting these cords needs to happen. So do it for sure at some point.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
You're very
Yeah,
welcome.
I feel like I knew this was going to happen today. I really needed this. Thank you.
Right, you're very welcome. I think that probably landed for a few other people too. So
Of course.
awesome. Okay, thanks, Alina.
Thank you so much, Chris.
You're welcome. Ciao.
Ciao.
All right. I think we've got the next ones probably lined up. She's just like randomly pulling from the pool. These will also be recorded. So anybody who was up here, you'll have a recording of your reading. And then everybody who is here will also have the recording. I would suggest maybe even like a month or something coming back and watching it because you'll see things through a different lens. You'll hear things you didn't hear. Like it's always cool to watch, even like your horoscopes again at the end of the month or something. You're like, whoa, this and this and this. And I missed that the first time. So that type of thing happens with these as well. Hello, how are you? Oh, wait, ask to unmute. I'll do it.
There we go. Hey, how's it going? I'm Anthony.
Hi, I'm Chris. My brother's name is Anthony.
Nice. Thank you for doing this. This is great. And hi to everybody. I'm in New York.
Amazing. And your pronouns?
He, him.
Cool. Okay, I was gonna ask if you have a question. I have cards falling out already, but if you have a question, I can still use these to look at that question. So is there something that you want us to look at, or you want to just see what comes up, or how are you feeling? Oh, you muted. Ask to unmute, sorry.
Sorry about that. I don't really have a specific question, but I definitely have been going through, a lot of change. And, I feel like I just came through, just a lot of changes with like many parts of my life, like a breakup, cat died, which that was interesting to hear earlier. And then, yeah, just like just a ton of shifts. I started a company here that's been pretty successful. I stopped drinking, like just all these things, and it all happened within kind of a 6 month period. So now I feel like I kind of just like landed, and now I'm just kind of like, what's next? How do I want to move forward?
Cool. Okay, so let's see what is coming up here. Do you want me to pull from the top, the middle, or the bottom?
Let's do the middle.
Okay, I'm sensing a theme here for a lot of us, which is not surprising. On the bottom of the deck, you have Two of Cups. So this is new people coming into your life. This can be romantic partners, but this is also an opportunity to just connect with people in a new way and to have new collaborators. This is an introduction to. It's funny because you also have a Three of Cups here. So it could be an introduction to a new community. It could be that new connections come when you decide to enter community in a new way. So maybe you finally present yourself as a more authentic version of yourself. I'm doing this, or I'm doing that, or I'm going to put something out into the world, whether it's a project or a comment or something like that. And what it does is it shifts the way that the world is interacting with you. So by us showing up in a way that is, again, more authentic and allowing ourselves to connect deeper with the divine masculine and the divine feminine, the shadow and the light, then we can, again, create a better balance for ourselves. So I would say that first and foremost, like, if we're looking for new opportunities, if we're looking for new connections, if we're looking for more clarity around what's coming, when we're going through a season like this, which is very soon going to be almost all planets in retrograde, like, this is not necessarily the time for us to be getting all of the answers that we seek, but what it is time for, and I say that because I also have an Ace of Swords reversed. So again, it's like things aren't necessarily going to click immediately. We're not going to get that level of clarity or insight that we need right now. Some of us may be lucky and we get it. Beautiful, go with it. But I would say as the majority of us are moving through this retrograde season, and we're all going through that for the next couple months, it's like, it's a lot of kind of uncertainty. So what can we do in a time like that? We can focus on honing and fine-tuning our own frequencies. So as I was saying in the reading before this, around like, how can we continue with the sword reverse? This is about slicing things, cutting things, clearing things. So what needs to be cleared so that we can make more available space for these new connections? What old beliefs, ideas, limitations need to be cleared because we're not seeing ourselves clearly, because we're not seeing the world clearly around us? When we begin to examine, like, where am I really lying to myself? Where am I really knowing that I should be doing X, Y, or Z, but I pretend that I don't have time, or I pretend that it takes too much energy, or I pretend that I'm not ready for it, or whatever. And like, maybe some of us, like me, like, I have this like love-hate relationship with coffee. Like, I love coffee, and then I abstain from it, and then I'll have it, and then I'll have too much of it, and then I punish myself and I abstain of it. And it's this like thing. And instead of having that in and out, back and forth, toxic relationship with coffee, drinking, sex, drugs, certain people, shopping, eating, whatever the fuck it is, because we all have that one thing that we're like, oh, why do I always go back to this? And then I stop, and then I beat myself up, and then I'm good and I'm so clean, and then I'll be better this time, and I do it again, and then I spiral back into, or whatever. And for some of us, it's not always that extreme, but it's present. And it's a subtle energy of, ooh, I'm crossing that boundary again. I'm crossing that fine line. I shouldn't be engaging with this person, or I shouldn't be engaging with this thought process. I shouldn't be engaging with this behavior, or whatever it is. So how is it that we can use this time especially as Mercury enters retrograde, to review what we are digesting, what we are putting into our body, what we are putting into our mind, what we are putting into our energy field, and then realigning that with the newer version of ourselves. That's what Mercury entering Leo in retrograde is going to be showing us. Separate from this, as we begin to fine tune that, it's going to clear out a lot of people. It's going to clear out certain experiences, projects, things from our past that we don't want to carry forward anymore. And I feel like a lot of us have this attachment issue. A lot of us have this fear of, if I let go of all these things, what's going to show up to replace them? First of all, something better, because it always does. Have you ever like left a partner and then got into another relationship and been like, oh my God, I can't believe I was like so stuck on that last person. This person's so much better. And then eventually, for some of us, we realize, oh, I'm not fully aligned with this person either. And then maybe there's that, do I stay, do I go? And then I leave and I'm kind of still in it, I'm kind of not, I'm still energetically attached. Maybe I'm still emotionally thinking about it. I'm still processing, I'm still going through that shit. And then it's like, eventually we meet another person and like, yeah, sometimes, you know, we date a bunch of people in between and none of them are really aligned. But what's important about this, and this isn't just for love, this is about work. This is about friendship. This is about our own internal integration to other versions of ourselves, is that like every time we go into a new relationship, whether it's business, friends, love, whatever, we get to reflect back to ourselves through that experience, the parts of us that still need fine tuning. And what we get to do is fine tune ourselves so that if that person, if that job, if that experience is willing to fine tune their self with me, then we can expand into something harmonious. And we're all human, so we're all going to shit the bed sometimes. This is where like, you know, love is deep and you just forgive and you move on and all that stuff, you know, within reason. But like what we're actually doing in those relationships is having that person, having that job, having that experience mirror back to us exactly where we're at. How are we navigating these conversations? How are we navigating these opportunities? Maybe this time around business, I need better contracts. I need better negotiation. I need better value. I need to increase my rate. I need to say what is and is not acceptable. Maybe in a relationship, I need better boundaries around what is and is not healthy communication, or what is and is not cheating, or what is and is not X, Y, or Z. And it's like, if you get into these types of moments where we're fine tuning ourselves, if that relationship doesn't work, it's fine. It's not that it wasn't successful, because it was successful. It helped us all fine tune ourselves, and the next connection, business, love, work, there's an opportunity for us to go deeper into that and to expand in a new way, because we are more certain about who we are in this moment, right? So using all of these reflective modalities to adjust ourselves, and then when we get into the next connection, integrating all that knowledge and figuring out how to find success in this connection. And sometimes the success is leaving the connection behind. Sometimes the success is like, whoa, I've grown so much here that I'm recognizing this is not aligned with my values, so I'm going to move forward. And where some people would look at that as like, oh, well, that's a failed relationship, or that's a failed project, or that's a fail. No, it's not, because the person who found success is the person who failed 1,000 times and got back up and kept fucking going and kept working on themselves. And it's like, those are the moments where we need to really just recognize that most people are in our life, whether it's work, business, friends, for some of us, family. Most people are in our life for a reason or a season. Very few of them are in our life for a lifetime, for a long, long chapter. And that doesn't mean that any of those connections are or are not more or less important. Like, it doesn't work like that. So we need to get out of seeing things in that way. I feel like while we're in this in between, the other two cards here that are really bringing my attention, the first one that fell out earlier was the Queen of Wands, and the other one is the Strength card. Strength is a card of Leo. Leo is connected to the heart. So finding gratitude for where you are, how you got here, everything that you've been through, all the knowledge, all the learning, integrating all of that, and then also recognizing like, wow, there still is time to play. The Queen of Wands is very playful. The Queen of Wands is passionate and excited, and she wants to expand and to learning new things, trying new things. Like, where can we think outside of the box? this is like Sagittarius energy. So this is that energy of like, I want to taste new foods. I want to learn new things. I want to try new cultures. I want to like get out there and take some workshops and, you know, take some classes, meet some people. So like, can you plan a trip? Even if it's a short day trip, if it's a longer trip, amazing. Can you do whatever you can do to connect deeper with self-love, self-respect, like unconditional love for you and the people around you? How can you lean deeper into confidence, into independence, into really just being self-sufficient and not needing, this is kind of now circling back to that Leo reading that we did like with Leo on here, around how can I flirt with myself? How can I learn to go deeper within me and see what else I have to offer just from my own experience of me, and not necessarily needing the external people to validate those things, not necessarily watering down my needs so that other people are comfortable. You know what I mean? So it's like, what I would suggest in this moment, especially while we're kind of in this in-between, we're not sure what's happening next, although I do see a Two of Cups here, which is new collaborations, potential love, friendships. This is people on like a soul level that really will be here to either teach you something or to just, like this new friend that I met recently, like we just fucking vibe. She's just cool. We're totally, it's like, I trust this woman more than I trust half the people that I know, and I just fucking met her. So it's like crazy that you can just meet those people and be like, whoa, you are so fucking real, and I can feel that, and I fucking love that. And it's like, that is what this Two of Cups energy is. So this is what is on its way. However, with the Ace of Swords here reversed, I don't think you're gonna find it somewhere where you've been looking in the past. I think it needs to come from a new version of you, and that new version of you is found through new connections, new collaborations, like taking a new cooking class or going to do some fucking random thing that like, I'm just gonna buy roller skates and go to the fucking skate park or something. You know what I mean? Just like random shit that all of a sudden you just bump into somebody, you meet a new friend, and all of a sudden you're like, fuck, I'm really vibing with this person. The other card that I pulled here is I start each day with a grateful heart. And this is also bringing us back to that Leo energy, which is like, regardless of where we're at, we just need to show up every day and be like, wow, like I'm alive, I'm capable, I'm healthy, you know, I have food on the table, I have money in the bank, even if it's less than I want, I'm still surviving. Like at the end of the day, we're good. And the more we can connect with gratitude for everything that we have, the more our vibration is vibrating, or our frequency is vibrating at the vibration of gratitude. It's going to attract more things to be grateful for. So instead of getting all stressed out and thinking like, how can I take control of the situation? Where is this? When is it coming in? Fuck, like it's just, all of that is just going to attract more situations where we feel the need to take control and we can't. And then we fight it. And then we call in more situations that we have no control over that we want to control. And it's like, we get stuck in these loops. So I honestly don't even remember what your question was. But
There wasn't one. Well, I just kind of, it was open. So that,
It was
but it
open?
resonated,
Okay.
you know? Yeah, it was open. It resonated though. I mean, like I'm Sagittarius, first of all, and love traveling. So I did just plan a big trip in, you know, Europe coming up. And also what you said resonated about new people and places and stuff. Like I definitely, since I kind of shifted and like, this is not working for me, like friends have fallen away, bad clients that just weren't worth it fell away, bigger clients came in. So I'm really kind of starting to see that.
Good.
And I'm not even lonely. Like I'm just like, no more, done. You know, like that's not serving me anymore. And that feels really good. So that's all really resonated with me a lot. I think I'm just at the beginning of it though.
Yeah, and we all are. Like Saturn just started its retrograde whenever. I if somebody knows, drop it in the chat. It wasn't like, you know, this week, but it was recent-ish, and like he's going to be in that retrograde until I believe November 15th, and we still have like Pluto's retrograding, Mars will go retrograde at the end of the year, we have Mercury retrograding now, I believe Neptune's retrograding. Like we're really moving into a time of needing to just slow down and reflect and realign ourselves, and we have until November 15th before we're really building again. So whatever you can kind of do between then and now for all of us to just gain as much exposure to like fun, curious, like examination around like, where are our resources being spent? Our time, our energy, our money, our love. Like, who are we committing to? What habits are we connecting to? Like, okay, maybe you like to drink coffee every day because that's what you started doing in college and you drank 10 cups a day so that you could just get through exam season. And now you're sitting here being like, I should not be drinking fucking 3 cups of coffee a day. And like, you know, no judgment, but I don't think you probably should be drinking that much coffee. So it's like, I know I shouldn't, and maybe I'm just projecting, but the energy here is like, if you continue to do that, maybe it's, I know you said you don't drink, but some people here, they drink, they shop, they eat, they do. We all have our thing. What we need to do between now and November is really look at those relationships and think like, if I'm drinking 3 cups of coffee a day, is this supporting my anxious mind? Is this supporting my hydrated body? Like, no, it's not. It's completely dehydrating me. It's making me feel more anxious. I'm feeling more on edge. I'm more snappy. When I don't have coffee, I'm grumpy. It's like, okay, so maybe re-examine that relationship to wine, to shopping, to sex, to whatever it is, and just figure out like, this relationship was established at one point, probably as a self-soothing technique, probably because our society just teaches us every time we want to celebrate, we got to pop a bottle of champagne or whatever. So like, we're conditioned to think all of these things. There's a reason that, you know, mushrooms in most places are illegal, but coffee's not, smoking's not illegal. It's because like, there's an entire system that is benefiting from this. And anyways, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole right now, but like, my point is, a lot of us establish relationships with either people or things or habits at a time when we need them to get us through a chapter, and then we carry them forward for the rest of our life, and we never stop to re-examine them. So this is an opportunity for us to just re-examine that and to start making adjustments. And then once we get to November 15th, we can start building healthier habits. Even now we can start building healthier habits, but by November 15th, we should really be like, okay, I know the things that I don't want to be doing. I know where my investments should be going, and I've made some adjustments, and now I'm going to commit to rebuilding, because Saturn moving forward is a time of rebuilding and planting new seeds. So between now and November 15th, I would suggest all of us that we just reflect on that, you know? Cool. Okay. I hope that answered something for you.
It did. Yeah, no, that was really good. Yeah, and thank you for doing, doing this, and thanks to everybody. And it really resonated. And also thank you for all your references to like reparenting work in some, in various ways. I think that's really important, something I just started doing. So hopefully that resonates with other people too.
Yeah, the reparenting is a major thing, because a lot of that is, especially when we get older, we start making money, and all of a sudden all of our bad habits, just like, ooh, I just bought this, and I just bought that, and I just bought this, and I just bought that, and it's all of a sudden like, oh my God, I'm spending a lot of money on shopping all of a sudden. It's like, whoa, like, okay, just one cute thing a month or something, and it's like, as we get into adults, there's like nobody monitoring us. So we could just like, we could drink all day, we could do whatever the fuck we want all day. And it's like, no, we need to get back into like self boundaries too, because the stronger we are with our own self boundaries, the stronger we are with the boundaries that we set for others. So it's like, again, how we do one thing is how we do everything. So yeah, I like this idea of reparenting, and I want to do more conversations and stuff around that. So cool. Thank you for tuning in. You're
Thank you.
from New York, yeah?
Yep, New York.
Awesome. Cool.
Thank
Well,
you. Thanks, everybody.
City. Ciao.
Ciao.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have the interpreter take a break. If you're deaf, just let us know directly, and we'll bring her back on. Okay, Christina's going to choose one more person. I'm gonna try to keep these ones at 5 minutes so that we could get 3 more in. And sorry, I know a lot of people like obviously want to be chosen. I hope that if you're still here and you haven't been, that it's still helping and resonating. I've done a couple of these in person too, and hello. And it's always a good vibe if you're open enough to listen to the conversations like that. What's your name? Oh, let me unmute you. Sorry. I have not learned.
It's okay.
Yeah. What's your name?
Erica,
Erica. And pronouns?
she, her.
And where are you calling from?
Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Rancho Cucamonga. Say that again?
Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Like, as if there's a place called Rancho Cucamonga. That is so funny. My God. Wow, I love that. Do you have something that you want to look at, or do you want to just see what comes up?
Uh, ooh, there's a lot. We could just see what comes up because there's a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Which cards do you want me to use? I have this deck or this deck.
We can do the green one. I believe that's green.
Yeah, that was the one I was already shuffling, and then I thought I'd ask, but I grabbed the right one anyway. So let's just go with it. Let's see. You said Erica, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Let's see what messages we have for Erica. Message that would also resonate with the group, please. Okay. You definitely need to clear your space and clear your energy, like you're not in danger. So don't leave this being like like that's not what I'm saying. But like if
Yeah.
you could if you have a drum, that would be amazing. If you don't, if you could put like on YouTube, like find one that feels right to you, like do a little search and just put like tribal like drum clearing or something like that. But I'm really feeling it needs to be this like doom 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 doom, you know what I mean? And I would just crank that and just walk around your house pretending that you're drumming all of the shit out to just like intentionally like 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 breathe the energy out of your space, because it's not that you're not in danger. There's not like, I'm not feeling like there's a hex on you or anything crazy like this. This is not what I'm saying. I just feel like you may have been processing a lot, and all of that processing is in the space still. So if you're moving a lot of emotion, or if you're noticing that through this Mercury retrograde or around the double Capricorn full moons that we just had, if there's a lot of like old shit coming up, like, ooh, why am I thinking of that? Or why do I feel like I haven't fully processed this? It's
Yeah.
it's in the space because it's trying to get your attention, because it's like, hello, we need to clear this energy out of the body. So I'm also feeling like qigong or tapping or anything to physically like move the body. And I think it would be really good. There's something about rhythm for you that would be really helpful. So if you can tap, try to tap with a rhythm and try to like hum while you're tapping or something, and like do it, even if it's like, you know what I mean? Like make something with it. But there's something about like you being able to get it out of the body through moving the energy and alchemizing it with like a rhythm, or with some sort of like yeah, somebody's saying boxing. Like boxing can even be good because it's like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, you know what I mean? Like anything that has that type of thing is going to be really good for you to alchemize this energy. The reason I say that is because I have on the bottom of the deck, I have a King of Pentacles reversed. So I feel like there are either people who are in positions of power, or people who promised you something that you thought, oh, this is going to come in. This is going to be a powerful shift. This is going to be helpful. This is going to be like the commitment I need, the connection I need, the money I need, the something I need. And it's like, it either was like a dangle and then they took it away, and they're trying to get you to step into they're showing me like a cave. It's like, they throw this like carrot out of the cave, and you're like, oh, there's a carrot, and you walk over to grab it, and then they pull it in, and then they want you to go into the cave after it. So like, don't go in after it. Like there's nothing that you can't do on your own that these people are promising you they could do for you. There's something about people around you trying to like convince you that you maybe don't have the power to do it, you're not capable of doing, or something along this lines. And I feel like a lot of this is also rooted in external people recognizing that like you are more powerful than them, and they project onto you their insecurities, trying to convince you of not seeing your own power so that they aren't left behind when you realize how powerful you are and you move into a whole new level. Like these people try to either gaslight you, manipulate you, or trick you into disempowering yourself so that you don't do what you know you need to do and what you know you're capable of doing. And that's what this Hermit card is. This is like trusting yourself, because you have, I'm also feeling, I'm getting chills. You have like, I don't know if you connect with your ancestors or have any sort of ancestral prayer or like a place where you light candles or something like that. But
Yeah, I have an altar.
yeah, like you need, I don't know what the fruits are, but you should put certain fruits on there too. I'm thinking just feel, go to the grocery store and just feel into it. Something like maybe even like a peach or something that's like that sort of like really sweet. Like it needs to be like a sweet, delicious type. But there's this, like, do what you can do to bring offerings to this table, to this altar, sorry. And just know that like, I fucking feel you. I fucking hear you. I just said heal you by accident. So maybe also in you actually standing in your own power and doing what you feel called to do, you are also healing the people before you who did not do what they wanted to do. So there's this really nice, like, you are carrying forward some sort of work that is healing the people behind you and could potentially heal the people after you if you trust yourself to do it. But there's other people with this Seven of Swords reverse who could straight up be stealing from you or just like a snake in the grass energy. I don't feel like these people can be trusted. And with this being reversed, this is an energy of like, do not let these people get in your head, because, and they are. That's why you need to drum this out of your space, because if ever there are moments where you are sitting here thinking, fuck, doubt, fear, scarcity, I can't, limitate, like that's actually not yours. So that needs to get out of your fucking energy field, and that needs to get out of your space. And the more you think about those people doing what they did in your space, you're opening an energetic space for them to come in energetically. So this is where, if you're in your space, I'm also hearing, don't talk about this on the phone to people in your home. If you want to talk about this, go talk to somebody about what's happening in a park. This is for everybody listening. Don't gossip on your phone in your home about these fucking people are doing X, Y, Z. What you're doing is allowing their frequency to get into your frequency by talking about it in your sacred space and allowing invitation for their energy to come in, which then will fuck with your head and you won't know, why am I thinking these things? Why am I feeling these things? So if you want to process something, if you want to talk something, call a friend and say, can I meet you in a park? Go sit beside a tree, because as you're sitting beside a tree processing all this, the tree is going to clear it. The tree is going to clean your energy field. So anything that is happening where there's also like, don't fall into where you start low vibrationally expressing through like, fuck this bitch, like this, and of course you're human. So we all want to say like, fuck this bitch sometimes. Absolutely. Like fucking go for it. I know it's like, you can't stop yourself sometimes. I totally get it. But as soon as we start engaging in that, it's like, oh fuck, now we're meeting them at their level and we're even opening ourselves up again to let in more of their bullshit. So I'm hearing like, when they go low, we go high. Like that is so fucking legit. It's like, when they go low, we go high. Y'all can talk your fucking shit. I'm going to smile. I'm going to put some fruit on my altar and say, thank you for taking care of this to my ancestors, because they're going to clean all of this up. Drum out your house, get your shit out. And like, the more you trust yourself, you're literally walking towards Nine of Cups energy, which is total satisfaction. This is abundance. This is expression. This is expansion. This is like, you don't get any better than the Nine of Cups until you get the 10 of Cups, which is sharing the Nine of Cups with another person. So that will eventually come. But this idea of like you trusting yourself is only going to lead you to good things. And like, these other people are just like fucking snakes. So like, I would just, if you're feeling that energy of, I don't know about these people, clear them. Get that energy out of your house. Don't talk about it in your space. And yeah, just like literally chill. Let me see what card I have here. I see when I nurture my inner light, I see the light in others. So again, maybe intentionally saying, wow, instead of starting to gossip and bitch about this fucking bitch that is trying to screw me over right now, because I know our human self is going to want to do that. See if you can find one nice thing about these people, one redeeming quality, which might be challenging depending on who they are, but see if you
Yeah.
can find one redeeming quality and just be grateful that, like, you know what? I always had a good laugh with that person and I really honor that in them. And I can see the light in them. Like I just literally had like, this is like whatever, but one of my assistants just stole my credit card, put it on their Uber, and literally stole like $5,000 from me over the last 3 months of like Ubers and all this shit. And it's like, at the end of the day, when I want to just fucking do everything in my power to destroy somebody, I'm not that kind of person. Like, I'm just not going to do that. So I'm just like, you know what? Let it go. We had a conversation. I fired them and I did a whole meditation just around like all the good times that we had. They're a good person. They made stupid decisions. Like, we don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And I made it very clear to the rest of my team, if you see this person, be kind, you know, be nice. Like, they made a bad decision, a lot of bad decisions, and maybe they were intentionally malicious at times. But do I think that by nature they are a fucking vile, like, no, I don't think that. So it's like, whatever, you know, like, so how can you take that kind of example and apply it to this? Like, you know, people make stupid decisions and it's sad because he only did that because he's clearly operating in some scarcity mindset or privilege or entitlement or whatever it is. I don't have to clean that up. I don't have to fix that. I can just call back my energy, call back my power, and karma will fix that. You know what I mean? Your ancestors will fix that because, like, some of those people know how to fucking like get in there, you know? So I feel like we gotta just let them try to find one redeeming quality, find the inner light in them as well, send them gratitude on their way, clear all their shit, and then just like move in a new direction. Because wherever you're going, 9 of Cups, like, you're gonna be good. I'll tell you that, you know?
That's nice to know.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Because that's one of the things that I've, oh my God. If I can calm my nerves a bit. Yeah, everything you've been saying is literally nail on the head. Like, target has been, yeah. I disowned my family back in 2022. 2023 was the first year that I was actually on my own and out of their manipulation, their gaslighting, their control. My family is filled with nothing but narcissistic people, and they have downplayed me my entire life. They have shit on me. They have stomped on me. Everything I wanted to do, they were just like, "Why would you want to do that? Nobody's gonna want to hire you. That's a stupid idea. Like, you're Black. Nobody's gonna hire you." Um, so it's forced me to believe that in everything that I do with my life.
Of course.
And it's trying to have the courage to do something myself. Those voices always come back, especially my sister's, because she's the one that was so heavy. Uh, oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, like, don't apologize.
Uh, so it's definitely been a struggle. And it's been taking a year to get those voices out of my head, and they're not fully out yet. Um, literally, I've been having crazy dreams about this entire week, about taking my power back and, you know, stepping up to my sister and telling her to like F off. She can't affect me anymore, like everything. So yeah. Ugh, it it really resonates very deeply for me. I do appreciate you.
Yeah, and I appreciate you and I appreciate you sharing that. And I think that a lot of, like, I see this in the gay community too, just like internalized homophobia where they like project their own shit and it's like, it sounds like like no one's gonna hire you because you're black. It's like, what? That's some sort of like internalized racist thing that they can't get out of, and like that has nothing to do with you. And I think that if you're able to see beyond that and like clearly, yeah, you know, maybe you're the black sheep of the family, and it's like, okay,
I
well,
am.
so am I. So are probably the majority of people on this call. And that's because every family needs some fucking light bulb to come bring some light into the density that the majority of these people carry. And it's like, it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, like everybody in the comments is like going crazy with like, you're so powerful, you can fucking do this, like you're strong, you're loved. And it's like, it's true. Like, and that's part of what's so nice about the community that I'm trying to build here. And soon we'll have like an online community where people can actually go on my website and connect with each other and actually type and talk and stuff like that. And like, I mean, for now on the YouTube, you can see where comments are and you can maybe connect with people on there. I know it's not like super personal and super in depth right now, but it's real. Like we are here, you know, like people are here and we do see you and like we do hear you and we can feel you and like you just look powerful. You know what I mean? It's like there's a whole vibe that like we can acknowledge within you. So even if we can just mirror back to you for 5 seconds right now that like you can do that, you can do hard things, you will make it through that, and you're very protected, even though certain people that maybe you came into this lifetime with like are not going to be your caretakers, don't want to protect you, want to try to gaslight you and project onto you all of their shit. Like that's all just a lot of intergenerational unhealed trauma. And unfortunately, like I don't know their history. You probably do to some degree, but there's probably a lot of shit that they've been carrying or trauma or other stuff that they also weren't able to unpack, and they don't know any difference. You know, they don't know any, they're doing the best they can with what they've got. And sometimes that's hard to believe because you're like, this is the best you can do. And it's like, yeah, because they're fucking terrified, you know? Like I see this in my own dad. Like he's fucking terrified of seeing himself and actually peeling off the layers. And all he can do is just like lash out in the way that he learned was normal. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. So like then I'm here to like start clearing out all this generational shit. I'm like, that doesn't make our life any nicer, it doesn't make our life any easier, but it's important work. And I mean, like you're here doing it. So yeah, I just want to like acknowledge that and say thank you for also helping clean up the world, even if it's just by you breaking a lot of those habits and shit, you know?
Yeah, and it's funny because I actually did a retreat back in August of last year called the Rite of the Womb, in which you actually do clear out the negative energy from your past ancestors and forward generations. So it's very funny that you picked up on that as well.
Yeah, I think you'll
So.
definitely be a pivotal. Look at my hand all going crazy in the back. Oh, it was just like I definitely think that you'll be a pivotal individual in that intergenerational karma and stuff like that. So and if you maybe DM the IBW support one or whatever's on here. It's an IBW support. What is it called? I want them to send you, or Christina can do it. Christina, can you DM her like a code or something for the, have you done the cord cutting workshop?
I haven't done it yet.
Okay, yeah, then Christina will send it to you and do that like as many times as you need to because it's super powerful. It's like 30 minutes. But yeah, I'll get Christina to send it to you. It's really, really, really good for clearing out old shit. So yeah, I would love to gift that to you. You're welcome. Okay, Erica, I'll see you soon. And well, I don't know if I'll ever be in, where were you, Ninkentucket or something?
Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Ranch Cucamonga. Yeah, that was the one. Well, I'll see you around somewhere.
If you're ever in Los Angeles.
That's closer. That's easier to find. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
All right, bye.
Okay, so I'll do two more. I'll do one with the interpreter. Just for, or Amanda, how are you? Do you need to go? I know you also probably have another schedule. Are you sure? Okay. Well, do we have deaf people here? If there's nobody here, then you can just leave anyways. Do we have deaf people here? I don't know. I haven't seen anything. No one's messaged me. Christina, has anyone messaged you about being here if they're deaf and they need the interpreter? If not, then
No, no, we haven't received any direct messages, so I think we're clear.
okay, so then if you want to leave, I'll do 2 more because I said 3 before and that one just took a little bit longer. So Amanda, if you want to go for it. Thank you for being here and being so flexible. And next time we'll make sure you have a proper team support. Sorry about that. Ciao, babe. Okay, so let's do 2 more. I always say I'll keep them 5 minutes and then we just get into it. Oh, we've got a double whammy here. Okay. Wait, let me unmute.
That's so funny. I was literally just I don't want to go see your
Oh, one of them you have to mute. I think are you looking on 2 screens?
All right, can you hear us?
I can kind of hear you. Say hello.
Oh, now we can't hear him. Oh, let me turn it up on my phone.
Yeah, you don't.
Oh my God.
It's okay, don't worry. We're already over time, so chill. If anybody needs to leave, obviously, like, feel free to.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
So, yeah.
Yes, we're on 2 different Zooms and we're having technical difficulties, but
The whole text.
yeah, I don't want to get up. Yeah, I don't want to get up to use the bathroom. Just like I need to be here in case he picks one of us, and then you literally picked him.
Right when she said that.
Ah,
Amazing.
amazing. Do you have a question you want to look at, or you want to just see what comes up, or what are you feeling?
Well, we were kind of like, okay, so I just gave her some tarot cards as a gift. And when we first met, we had both just cut a bunch of people out of our lives. And like everything you've been talking about with the last girl was like super resonating. We both have like families, like ancestral trauma, all that toxic stuff, right? And we've both been doing a ton of work. And like we feel like the reason we met is because of what we released so that we could like a healthy person in our lives, right?
Yeah.
And it was almost like we were like reading each other.
Yeah, like when we first met,
Without cards.
I automatically felt like this is supposed to be my spiritual advisor. Like I don't know why. I'm like, I don't want to put that pressure on you, but like I feel like that's what this relationship is meant to be. And then there's been so much alignment, like things that have been happening, like even this past weekend of just like multiple people that he knows that are coming in to like mentor me. And I did my first like tarot readings and they were just like so helpful to the people that I gave them to. Like they were the people that needed it the most in that environment. And I'm just feeling like so overwhelmed with all of this information. So I'm like, I don't even know what to ask. Like, I don't know how to form it into a question.
I think that,
Yeah.
or sorry, go ahead.
Well, we were both kind of having like similar experiences at work too, where people are like the last lady, I can't remember her name. She's so sweet. Like people like being like rude to you, like dumping their stuff and all that. Like we're just like kind of thinking like, what if we just did tarot card for a reading? And you were saying that you did that. Like,
Yeah.
right when we're like, it's like there's so much alignment. We're like, should we do this? I don't know.
Yeah, like people are telling us like, how are you not healing for
Yeah.
a living? Like, why aren't you doing this? Like, why do you have a 9 to 5 regular job?
Yeah, my Uber driver's asking me, why are you doing this hail damage job? Like you should be doing therapy. I'm like, what? Okay, so we're both getting the same messages, right?
Okay, so then if you're both, okay, I can see like I can feel into what you're talking about. I think it was, oh, I'm so bad with names. I think it was Alina who was the German woman who was on here, and she had asked one question, and then the conversation kind of went in a different way, but then it came back to actually answer the question, which is typically how like the channeling thing works. It just kind of eventually comes full circle. So why don't we just pull some cards and see what comes up, because it might help identify current blocks that are keeping you from being able to step into that new space, or maybe there's just advice on how to do it. I'm going to use this yellow deck, which it's got like different images on it and stuff. It's not a classic tarot, but I do want you Pick a number between 1 and 5.
7. Oh, 5.
4.
I get that so much.
I was expecting to say 4 because we've been seeing 4s like everywhere, and he's like 7.
I'm bumped out. We're gonna go 4.
4, okay. Don't worry. I would say half the people I say pick a number between 1 and 5 say 7. And it's
Yeah.
all okay, so I'm gonna shuffle 4 times. So that's
That's
okay, so that's 2, 3, and 4. Do you want me to pick from the top, the middle, or the bottom of the deck?
The top.
Top. I'm not gonna lie, I think this is pretty straightforward actually. This is like your first card is idealism reversed. So I feel like we need to get out of this idea stage. We need to get out of this like it's possible, maybe we could do it, maybe we could do, and the next card that I have right beside it is organization. And then the card after that I have is acquisition reversed. So I feel like this is literally and yeah, like I feel like this is literally saying like this is just a matter of actually organizing yourself. This is just a matter of actually doing the fucking thing that needs to be done and stop. It'll never be perfect. I'm never going to be ready. There's never going to be like the perfect time to start. Like when I started doing tarot card readings, it was just like a friend did it, and then the friend referred me to a friend, and then they referred me to a friend, and then they referred, and next thing I knew, I had like half a schedule and then a full schedule. And then I was like, Jesus Christ, 20 people showed up for a workshop. And then I was like, oh my God, like I need to open a business. Like I need to actually register this business. I can't just take all this as personal income. Like I need to actually do the tax thing properly. Like I literally feel like between now and again, Saturn finishing the retrograde between now and November 15th, if you could figure out like how do you make your dreams a reality? If this is what you really want to do, obviously you're both called to do it. You're getting enough validation from external people. You're getting enough synchronicities that are showing you that you're aligned with this level of work. It's like, I think it's just a matter of actually like pulling the plug, planting the seed, and nurturing the garden until it's a full-blown fucking business. So it's like, how do you pull it out of this stage of like, oh, but it's not perfect enough to go for it, or I don't know if I'm good enough to start. Like, you're clearly good enough that people are saying that was great. So like, why would you not just do what you can to formalize the practice? Like the first platform that I used, I think was Acuity. It was so simple to set up. It was like super affordable for a new business. I could do like all my tarot readings. I could do like little add-ons for like an extra $10. I'll do oracle cards for an extra $10. We'll start with like Reiki clearing meditation. You know, you like, I got to build my little business. It was so much fucking fun to do that. And that was the thing that inspired me to take my company online when I started traveling. And then when the pandemic hit, my entire business literally went from like fucking a couple $100 a week to like a literal $1 million company. So it's like you could literally manifest so much fucking abundance through you organizing yourself in a way that allows you to properly receive and making sure that like your actual, like, do you charge people enough? Because I also have the card generosity reverse, and I feel like you need to maybe look at your rates or what you're willing to charge or what you're willing to actually exchange for those services. Because like, you know, at first I was charging like $50 for an hour-long reading, and then I would do like 5 of them in a row and I'd be fucking exhausted. And it was like, no, like I need to charge, you know, $120 for 90 minutes or 111 or whatever. So like, how do you actually just structure this? And I feel like, yeah, I mean, let me pull from one of these other decks just to see, but like, I'm gonna be honest, like the last people, when I started talking, I can feel like a buildup of energy behind me that I need to keep going because I need to talk more. This is kind of just like the whole reading is just like fucking do it. What are you talking about? Like just get it done, you know? I feel like I don't really need to say much. So I'm gonna pull one more card from a different deck and see if there's another message there. But this to me is really kind of just cut and dry, which is the first reading today that has been like that. And I think that's because there's probably a part of you. Yeah, like literally the Ace of Cups reverse falls out. It's like the universe is dropping in your fucking lap. Hey, like new opportunity, new offer, pour into yourself doing things that you love, pour into other people by being of service, pour into all of the, and it's reversed because you're like, oh no, I couldn't possibly, I couldn't, no, I couldn't do it. So like,
Yeah, that's
like
literally
I
what
would literally, instead of digging into this reading for, you know, another 30 minutes unpacking everything I said to every other person, I think when you get this recording, go and watch those other readings as if I'm talking to you, because I think that you're probably going through a lot of like the imposter syndrome, the people pleasing, the other people's voices in your head. Like we've kind of touched on a lot of these things. And I think that if you just like digest this and in a week come back and watch those other readings as if I'm really talking directly to you. I mean, you're here, so like I really on some level was talking directly to you. I think you'll probably get a lot more like meat from those other readings as well, because this to me, like I'm just, for the sake of not taking up time that we don't need to, like I would just say like you're good to go. Like this, you need to put this on paper, you need to figure out how to like organize yourself, and everything here says fucking go for it, you know what I mean? So do it in a way, like I said with Alina, that was like between now and November, you know, like your 2025 goal should be like, I'm gonna put 51% of my time into my healing, tarot, coaching, all that stuff. And then if it grows into 100% perfect, but like between now and then, you should be organizing yourself in a way that is like, how can I begin to create more free space and, you know, save up some money so I can, you know, like just survive and adjust myself. And I mean, if you are also sitting right beside her and having this similar experience, like you might be ready to do the same thing, you know, like, let me actually just pull, what's your name?
Yeah. My name's Eddie.
Eddie. Okay, let me
Eddie. Yeah.
I'm gonna pull just 2 cards here for Eddie too, specifically, because I feel like a lot of that. Well, I'll see what these ones say, but I feel like a lot of that for sure. Sorry, I didn't get your name.
Danielle, yeah.
Danielle.
Danielle.
Yeah, I feel like for sure. For sure, that was.
I started taking notes. Like I took like 3 pages of notes during Alina's reading, so I was like, that was for me too.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. Okay, what do we have here for Eddie?
That's so exciting.
Yeah, Eddie, it's like you got the same vibe, and it's, I don't know if yours is only about switching everything entirely to be in service. I feel like I'm also feeling this other like third energy come in, that there might be either another project, or it could be a passion project, a hobby, or something else that you've been like, oh, maybe I should study this, or maybe I should get back into this, or but there's this, and if it hasn't showed up yet, it may show up soon, but there's this Knight of Pentacles reverse energy and this Hermit reversed energy, which is, and an Ace of Coins reverse energy. This is a combination of like, I'm a little bit nervous to accept what's sitting right in front of me and to actually walk this path because it doesn't look super bright and super clear. So what I'm going to do, because I'm Queen of Swords reverse, I'm not fully aware of what lies ahead. I have this 4 of Cups energy. It's like, I'm just not going to take it. I'm just going to kind of let it float here, but I'm never going to actually grab it and receive it in. And like, part of that is because with this 10 of Swords, I feel like we're still processing maybe a lot of loss, or we're processing how much we would lose if we moved into a new space. You might be noticing also that there's certain old habits, beliefs, limitations, ideas, fears, anxiety, all of this shit that's kind of coming up. It's just like, oh my God, I feel like if I'm going to make this change, I'm so activated in all of this, either like fear or, you may have had like, this person's been stabbed 10 times in the back, you know, like you may be like, oh God, like I feel so vulnerable being in this new space, and that vulnerability is reminding me of another vulnerability, and that did not end well. So like I would maybe also do what we can to clear some of the mental shadows, because I feel like you guys are in a similar energy. And for Daniela, it's like you just gotta fucking do it. Yours is about like actually getting something done, putting pen to paper and organizing yourself. And Eddie's feels a little bit more like, ooh, I'm fucking terrified about this, and I need to like get some of these old mental patterns out of my mind. So like hers feels a little more physical and yours feels a little more mental, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm a Virgo, like Virgo rising and sun, and the Scorpio moon. So like I'm like crazy in my head about like if it's not a fuck yes, it's like tormenting, right?
Right.
So like
And you have the Hermit reversed, and the Hermit is the Virgo card, but when it's reversed, it's a low vibrational Hermit expression. So this is also like self-ridicule, self-judgment. I'll never be good enough. This will never work. I'm a fucking idiot. Why would I fucking do that? And it's like, whoa, like nobody hates themselves like a Virgo. So just like, don't do that. Don't fall into beating yourself up, thinking you're the fucking worst. It's like, don't feed into that. Like the Four of Cups is also saying when that comes up, don't accept that. Don't let that happen. And then the Ten of Swords being like, put an end to that kind of conversation, you know? So yeah, you're in a similar energy, like your Venn diagram is very overlapping, but like one of you is like, let's do more. And the other one is like, oh God, I got to get out of my own way, you know?
Yeah, I think one of the big things about it is because I have a job that I can make good money and it's like an open schedule, and I have kids to take care of. And like if I don't make the money is like that I need to make, then I let them down, and I want to be able to be near them too. So actually doing this as a living, I can cut the cord from this job and be closer to my kids, where they live. And so like there's a lot of reasons to do it, but like it has to work. So like I'm like, I have to make it sure it's for sure before I go into it. And that's
Yeah,
just
and I
my
don't think that
mind.
you'll ever get to a point of like absolute certainty. Like I didn't know for sure that like, okay, I'm gonna start doing tarot and workshops and just like for sure I'm gonna be able to gross like X amount of dollars and hire these people and like live there's no certainty there. It's just like this feels right. And then one thing clicked and the next thing clicked and then everybody came and it was just like this whole thing happened. So you need to, especially as a Virgo, get away from the idea of like it needs to be perfect before I say yes. However, you can safeguard it so that it at least, there's a 75% chance this could really work out. And like that's a good chance. So like, how do you between now and November 15th, when Saturn goes direct, at least review the things that you could let go of to start making more available space to kind of transition? And in the same way that I talked about this with Alina, like how do you go into those meditative states and show like I'm detaching from this because I don't want to do this. I'm leaving more space for the entry of something else. Show me that this will work. Bring me the clients, bring me the answers, and like it might not show up immediately, but allow the time and the space for new things to enter. And I would say between now and November 15th, like, yeah, see what you can do. Put a plan together. Like you don't have to rush this. Saturn, even after November
Build the nest
15th,
egg.
Saturn is a very slow building, like it's a slow planet. It's intentional, So none of this has to be done overnight. I'm not talking about like Mars, like just
feels good.
diving in. So yeah, take your time, but make it very clear that you're looking to do that,
Yeah, I'm a Leo sun, but I'm also a Virgo rising, so I think I'm very like self-critical. Like, can I actually like? It feels like almost wrong to like monetize a passion, like something that feels so good, so
yeah.
right. We were talking about like, should this be illegal? Like, I don't know. Am I scamming people? I know I'm not, but like, it feels wrong because I'm so used to like, yeah, mindset of like you have to struggle for money. You have to like, work has to be work and it has to be hard and
No.
stuck in that mindset. So
That's the mindset of the people I'm working for.
yeah,
People I'm working for, they have that same like, yeah, you have to suffer. So
yeah, we have to like break out of
they're only
that.
there for the paycheck.
Yeah.
And that's our whole like parents generation too. You know what I mean? So we're literally so born and raised into thinking that. So like, fuck that mindset, let that go, find your passion, charge people for it. Like, you don't have to charge people $10,000 a reading, but it's like, yeah, like I'm here, I'm showing up, like, you know, people save up for these things. They can pay you $100 for a 60-minute session. Like, they only do this every 6 months or every once a year, you know. Some people do it every 10 years. It's like, this isn't Starbucks. You're not going in to just like grab a coffee. It's like, so, and this is your work. This is all of your years of service and learning and shadow work. Like, if I think about how much money I've spent on shadow work, on therapy, on any sort of training, on courses, the food quality that I need to eat, that's like organic, bio, light, all of this, like all of that shit, so that I can be a better channel, that all is a price tag. And like, I'm in a different place where I can offer pay what you can, because the numbers are so big that it balances out still abundantly, which is beautiful. But before I reached that, like, I had to charge, yeah, $150 for a reading. And even still, when I'm going through this now where people ask for readings and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I can do these types of readings. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, then yeah, it's like $2,500, and we'll do like a deep 3-hour one-on-one whole, you know what I mean? But like, I can't show up for $100 to do this when I can make bigger impact with less effort doing other things. And what's really important is that you recognize, like, what is that value for now? And it will continue to grow as your skill continues to grow. But if you have an issue receiving money, and this goes for everybody else listening, I have this woman that I was talking to, and she's a coach. And basically, she said, listen, you should be charging at least $5,000 for your one-on-one readings. And the reason is because you are charging that for the service that comes through you, not for Chris Corsini. It's not about me. It's the energy and the service that comes through me. And that spills back over into the entire ecosystem that I am building, that also includes paying for the 35 people that work for me. I have a social wellness club in Lisbon that needs to be paid for. I have how many charities that we pour into every month. If I can show up and I can put a price tag of $5,000 on a service that is not me, a service that comes through my channel, then that allows me, if I can do that once a week, that's $20,000 I can now pour back into the community. I can give people jobs with. So I need to rewire myself in that way. And that's really fucking difficult for me, because like, I have the same thing where I'm like, this is so natural to me. Why would I charge $5,000? But of course I should, because if you don't want to pay that, then you can pay $22 and you can come to this. You can go do a pay what you can workshop. You can go watch your free fucking horoscope. Like, I have all the other accessible tiers, but what people need to understand about the value that they bring is, as you begin to become more specific and get more intentional about being this one-on-one experience, whatever that is for anybody watching, it's like, there is a different exchange, and that exchange needs to be equal to the entirety of your energetic ecosystem and what you are holding, not just, I'm charging $5,000 because that's going to go directly in my pocket and I'm going to go buy a Louis Vuitton bag. Like, no, I'm not. And I fucking know that. And if people can't process that, then that's also not my fucking problem. Because trust me, when I read, like, there's different celebrities that I read and that I do energy work on and stuff like that. And like, I've charged them $500 and then they'll tip me like $2,000 because they're like, are you crazy? Why are you billing $500? And like, in their mind, psychologically, they're going to put me at a lesser value than their other coaches if I'm showing up with a $500 bill and their other coaches are charging $20,000 a session. So it's like, where do you come in? Where do you want to establish that working relationship? And of course, like, you can build this over time, but it's important for you to recognize that it's not just about you showing up. It's about the service that's pouring through you. It's about the impact that will make on that person's life. And it's about everything else that is in your ecosystem that you are also feeding into. So definitely don't do readings for $20, you know, like, maybe to start the first 5 if you're just trying to practice, but like, there's this idea of like, no. We have to zoom out and we need to stop playing small and stop with the like imposter syndrome. Because like, if fucking Nicolas Cage wants a tarot card reading, I'm not going to be like, okay, it's $100. Like, what? Like, no, like, that's also not worth my time and the community that I'm building. So yeah, just keep those things in mind when you're also trying to like structure this, you know?
Yeah. I think like when I gave my first 2 readings to strangers this past weekend, he was telling me like you should have charged them because I get like after my energy was so drained and I was like, man, yeah, I should have. And I'm starting to realize like the value in what I'm providing
Totally.
should be like reciprocated monetarily. Like I'm
Yeah, and
starting
if you
to see
can't
that.
work the next day because you're so drained today by doing 3 readings, then like you technically need to charge them enough for your 2 day off. You know what I mean? Like the work day and the rest day to recover. So it's like these are things that people don't think about. They think it's just like dance monkey dance. Like, and I'm right now just like still like this charges me up and I can feel the energy moving. But I know as soon as I unplug from this, I'm gonna be like out for the next 18 hours, which is also why I should probably end this here, but I just want to say that Christina, if you're still here, and Daniela, like we're already
Yes.
30 minutes over. You guys can go. I said I would do 2 more, so I'll do one last one, but I'm happy if you guys want to check off, of course, or sign off, of course, because
Yes, Danny's gone, but I'm still here. Christina's still here. So yeah, no problem.
yeah, you do whatever you I know you also probably have a busy day and 100 other things to do, so I can just wrap it up from here, and I'll get the recording. I'll send it to Asha. She'll send it out to everybody. I'll do you maybe want to just select one more person for us, and then I can
Absolutely.
close out?
Yeah, let's go.
I'm
All
just
right.
gonna grab
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
yeah, thank you guys for being here too. I'm just gonna
Such an
grab,
honor to work with you.
yeah, it would be amazing.
I was literally saying like I need to like hear it from Chris. Like he's like, oh, is my tarot reading not enough? I'm like, yeah, but like I've listened to Chris for like years. So like if he tells me to do it, then it may like it means
Wait,
then
wait, we
do
got
it.
we got Chris. Thank you for picking us.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much.
Thank Christina, she chose you.
Thanks, Christina.
Thank
You're
Christina.
welcome.
Ciao, guys.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Last
I'm just gonna grab a water. Give me 1 sec. I have no food for you. I have no food for you. Could you hear him meowing? He's like, meow. Every time I open the fridge, he thinks there's food. No food for you.
Yay! Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, somebody else. I didn't see
Hi.
anybody. Wait, hi, why can't I see you?
Hi, we can't see you. Let's see.
Can you see me now?
We're gonna add a spotlight. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
I am amazing right now.
Amazing. I love that. Where are you
I
calling
dreamt about this.
from? Oh, really?
So I shared it last night
You
because
dreamt about that.
there was something that you were having. I think it was on YouTube 2 months ago. And I swear I like absentmindedly missed it. And I said, you know what? The universe said it wasn't for me today. And then I dreamt of it last night, like that you had like sent like a mass message out saying, hey, looking forward to seeing everybody this afternoon. And here we are.
And here you are. I love that. That is so funny. What's your name?
My name is Gisele.
Gisele, and I see her pronouns on your Zoom already listed. And where are you
Yes.
calling from? New York?
Yes, the Bronx.
Amazing.
Actually leaving my office right now.
Leaving your office. Well, drive safe.
Thank you.
I will do my best to answer any questions. Do you have something that you want to look at, or do you want to see what comes up, or how are you feeling?
I'm open to seeing what comes out,
Yeah?
honestly. Everything that you've been saying for everyone else, I think like as a collective, I think a lot of us are like trying to break free. And that resonated so loudly for me in so many spaces. So I'm just interested to see like what comes up. What do you see? What messages come through for me?
Cool. Okay. I love that. This is why I like doing these group things too, because it's just like there's always these like threads that kind of weave everyone together, even if you're in like one place, completely different lifestyle, completely different area, completely different age group. Like it's just, yeah, it's really interesting how this works. Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to pull a couple of these. I have this one deck that I haven't used yet. Actually, I have two decks that I haven't used yet, so I'm going to use both of those. Let me pull one of these. I'm not going to flip it yet until later. This one. This one. Okay, what messages do we have here for Gisele and the collective? What messages do we have here for Gisele? I just need you to do me a favor and to arrange the numbers 1, 2, and 3 in any order.
2, 3, 1.
2, 3, 1. Cool. Okay, do you want me to pull from the top, middle, or the bottom of the deck?
Bottom. Oh, my ears just got hot.
Yeah, I hope so, because I feel like there's a lot of money that is going to be coming your way. There is 2 things coming through. The first card you got was the Magician. So the Magician is about working smarter, not harder, and also trusting that we do not need to go through blood, sweat, and tears to make things happen in our lives. This is an opportunity for us to do more work at the altar, for us to do more work with the moon, us to do more work with the meditation. I know you're in New York, so maybe like the Brooklyn Bridge or somewhere with water, but like I go to the beach, for example, and I will sit on the beach and I will listen to the ocean and the waves come in. Actually, I'm feeling like a lot of you could just on YouTube literally either type in like ocean wave sounds or like beach wave sounds, or just watch a video of it. But if you go into a meditative state and you're listening to the waves roll in, the ocean is such a beautiful reminder of abundance, because there is so much sand. First of all, like you could never count it. There's just infinite sand. And then there's also always another wave that is rolling into the shoreline. So it reminds us how abundant the earth is, because it'll never stop. There will always be another wave. So this is also deeply connected to our own waves of energy, of love, of abundance, of finances, opportunities, all of this stuff. So I like to sit either in meditation and listen to those sounds, or sit my ass on the beach or near water and just listen to the river, listen to the water rolling, and just feel into, like, every time you hear that water rolling towards you, think of just so much gratitude for all of the abundance that is finding its way to you and that has found its way to you. So this type of thing is really helpful. This is, okay. On the 8th of August, we have the 8th day of the 8th month, which is typically this like Lionsgate portal thing that people talk about. It's a bit of a sham. So I'm going to be posting some content around how like the Lionsgate portal thing is not really real, because the alignment that they talk about really doesn't happen on that day. It did happen on that day once, but it doesn't normally happen on that day. However, this year is super important. And the reason I'm saying this is because this Magician energy connected to manifesting the abundance and all the stuff that we just talked about, there are going to be, so on the 8th, I'm going to host an abundance activation workshop, and we're going to focus on the number 8, as above, so below. I also think that, again, even if you're not there, you should do some research on the frequency 888, which is like 888 hertz, which is tied to abundance, attracting, expansion, and all that sort of stuff. This as above, so below energy reminds us that we are infinitely connected to source, and source is ever abundant. So we can tap into that, and that there are certain rituals like lighting candles, bringing rice in a bowl onto your altar, putting putting fruits in the rice and lighting, like there are certain things that we can do to be able to activate that abundance. There are certain affirmations. Go take out $200 in cash and just leave $20 bills all over your house, and just everywhere you look, you're seeing money. So this is the type of practice that's really helpful to get that frequency into your field. This is going to attract more money into your life. This is going to attract more opportunities into your life. And it's not going to happen from a place of you working harder to find them. It's going to come from a place of you training your subconscious mind to, oh my God, every time I turn around, there's a $20 bill. Every time I turn around, there's just money everywhere. And you're just going to see it all over your house. Hopefully, you know, you guys live with people that you could trust, but like you just see it or keep it in your bedroom, whatever. But the point is you want to get into that space. And the reason I'm saying that is because the other two cards that I pulled out is the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles side by side. So like there is huge opportunity coming for doors to open that will lead towards abundance, flow, finances, also more free time. And I feel like a lot of people need to really clarify, what does abundance mean to you? Because abundance might not have anything to do with money. Abundance might be, how many times did you laugh today? How much fun did you have today? How much time did you get to spend with your best friends, with your family, with your mother, with whomever? And like, is abundance to you free time? Is it making your own schedule? Maybe it doesn't need to be $100,000 a month. Maybe for some people it does, but some people are happy, you know, they have enough money to get by. They don't need any more. That's totally cool. But what they do have is an empty schedule, a happy lifestyle, free time to go fishing on the weekends, like, and that is abundant to them. So I really think for all of us to re-examine what abundance means and to try to figure out how we can connect deeper with aligning ourselves with whatever that abundance is. The other thing that I have here is the new moon in Leo, which is interesting because we're going to have a new moon in about 10 days or a week and a half. And we've got confidence is your key to success. So I talked about this earlier as well. This new moon in Leo is reminding us that when we are super fucking authentic, when we are just like living our truth, that's when we vibrate an entire different frequency that just attracts the people and the opportunities that are aligned with our energy field into our space. That shit just happens naturally when you are in flow with yourself. So how is it that we can peel back all the layers of conditioning, peel back all the fears, peel back all the shit, and we can just make more time and space for our true expression to come out? So maybe that's through dance, maybe that's through cooking, maybe that's through art, maybe that's through whatever it is that you need to just feel closer to your authentic self. Under this new moon in Leo, I would suggest that you plant the seeds to activate more of that, that you do it with confidence and you do it with certainty that that authenticity is going to attract the right people and it's going to open the right doors. Because I swear to God, when it opens the right doors, like you're really, really, really going to find that there's huge opportunity here for success. The other thing that's coming through is, I think, so I have a 10 of Wands on the bottom of the deck that I kind of ignored earlier. And from this one deck that I had pulled a card that says, music reminds me of you, which I didn't feel like it really kind of fit this situation. And then I pulled another one because I was like, okay, let me see if there's a different card here. And it's like, I shouldn't have left you like that. So I feel like there's this energy here of like, this could have been a friend, this could have been a past lover, this could have been family or something. I don't know where this is coming from, but you may find that through this Mercury retrograde, there are people who are thinking about how they left you, whether it was you set a boundary, you told them that this is not going to work, whether it's friends, family, love, work, or however it was. And now I feel like there's this external energy where somebody's kind of ruminating on how things unfolded and they're kind of regretful around that. I feel like you might find that they either reach out or that you start feeling them in your energy field. Maybe you're thinking about them and you're like, this is so random. Why am I thinking about this person? I'd be interested if any of this happens through the Mercury retrograde, because that's when a lot of people from the past or energies from the past sort of come back around. But this idea of like, I shouldn't have left you like that, and music reminds me of you, And then I'm looking at this 10 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. I feel like we really left somebody in their shit and they're just sitting here thinking like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. And when I'm looking at these King and Queens of Pentacles, this is about you getting really clear on building your own foundation. So if you have said no to somebody in the past and you have now established a new foundation and you are now building in a new direction, that is the direction that is going to allow you to access this magician energy. That is the energy that's going to help you amplify this new moon in Leo of real authenticity and real self-love and self-respect. And that's going to attract the good connections in your life. I feel like as you begin to expand in that direction, it's like these people from the past can feel that you're getting further and further away, and you may find that they come back around. I definitely think somebody somewhere is ruminating on why they left, how they left, why they did that, why something fucked up the way that like, I feel like they're carrying this 10 of Wands of like, holy fuck, like I really fucked that up. And the best thing we can do for people sometimes is just say, yeah, you did. And then just move on, you know, instead of like opening ourselves back up for the apology and the forgiveness and the forgetful and blah, blah, blah. And like, not to say that you can't forgive somebody because forgiveness is for you, not for them. But I do think that there's an energy here of like, regardless of whoever this is, if they reach out, if they try to come back, it's because somewhere in their energy field, they feel that you're really solidifying this new foundation without them, and they're going to be trying to kind of crawl back in, if that makes sense.
It does. And I'm also getting choked up because it also felt like that was someone that recently passed away as well.
Oh.
Yeah, my son's father passed away in February, to suicide.
Sorry about that.
And that is something that I like during the process of cutting that cord, prior to his passing, it was just that. It was me making that choice to say, like, I'm busting my ass. Like, I'm raising my kids. I'm doing what I got to do. I'm working on a second master's. Like, I'm doing everything. I'm building my foundation for me. And all else, I'm sorry. Like, if it doesn't serve me, it has to go. But then hearing that was also like a question that I still sit with, like about his choice. I will never know his choice, but it also feels like that element. So I don't know if that was just like a hey, hi, like I'm still connected to you, I'm still here. But then I also have those people that are lingering, that still see me as like, oh, she's paving that path. Shit, I fucked up.
Right.
What do I do?
Yeah, I mean, how these like energetic conversations typically work is like, as I'm picking up energies from the field in my cards, like my guides are communicating with me, but they're also communicating with your guides, and then your guides or whomever are dropping into your energy field these little light bulbs of, oh, it's this person, it's this person, it's this situation. So we need to be open to that sort of subtle conversation that's happening internally while we are having an external conversation. So if while I'm talking about this, one of the first thoughts that kind of drops in is, oh, maybe it's my ex-husband, or the father, or maybe it's this person or that, it very likely is all of them. It very likely is showing up in part a little bit here, a little bit there. And tarot always kind of has a bit of an overlap. It could also be talking about some work stuff. We could be talking about love stuff. And it's just, there's a mix because our energy field is so mixed. So it's hard to pinpoint exactly what it was, but I would definitely, yeah, I mean, if you also feel called to light a candle for him or have some sort of clearing conversation, like, it's important to know that even when they're on the other side, they can fully connect in and understand the energetics of what we're communicating to them. So if there is anything that feels unresolved or anything that feels like, I just want to clear my chest or say these things, then like I would definitely intentionally, I'm also hearing like around 11:11 would be really good. So if there's a time for that, like, yeah, if you could, you know, at 11 p.m., light a candle, like do a little prayer for that person, like send them the closure that you need and whatever, like they'll be there to hear that as well, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is like it's all resonating and it's making so much sense. And it's giving me that clarity of like feeling like I was trapped behind a wall, like that roadblock. Like everything that you are saying is literally like validating what I'm doing and feeling like it's not enough and I'm not getting to the finish line. Maybe it is focusing more on the process and not doing so much in order to still gain in the same fashion, or rather what is true gain? Is it financial gain? And everything, like you said, for me, abundance is being with my children, sleeping more, doing less. Like that's abundance for me on top of money.
Exactly. And like you have the 10 of Wands on the bottom of the deck, which is like you are carrying a lot of responsibility, carrying a lot of either like mental ideas or ideas and expectations and pressure on yourself to do all these things, to achieve all these things. And it's like, it's so unnecessary when it's not grounded in the reality of like what abundance really means for you and how much of this, by me listening to these things, by me striving to do X, Y, Z, like, is that actually feeding into my idea of actual abundance and joy and flow? And I feel like we have Saturn retrograding until November 15th. So when planets go retrograde, it's an opportunity for us to go internal. It's not about an external thing. So any work that you do between now and November 15th, or even November 11th, which is again that 11/11 energy for some reason for you is important. If you focus between now and November 11th, let's say, on, you know, every day carving out 5 minutes for yourself in the morning or before bed or whatever, and just lighting a candle and just feeling like, okay, how do I feel into this abundance, and not thinking about how you're going to find it, where it's going to come from, just feeling into the energy and being grateful that you are currently experiencing it. That is what draws it into your field. And if you can do that internal work and identify like, okay, what is abundance to me? How do I identify that? How do I then feel the emotions of already having it? And how do I apply that to a daily practice? If you do that between now and November, when Saturn goes direct again, all of that internal work will now start manifesting externally because Saturn will be moving externally now instead of internally. So it's a really good time. He just started his retrograde not too long ago. So it's still a good time for you to like get into that habit and start like the magician. This is how we started the whole reading, doing the work in the energy field, doing the work, pulling out the money or putting up a calendar, like have your real calendar so that you can actually like, you know, keep your life together, but having another big calendar in front of you that always just says like free time, free time, free time, or whatever, just getting into your energy field, those types of things. And doing that as frequently as possible until the 15th of November. And then once Saturn moves direct, you'll start seeing, and it'll still take some time, but you'll start seeing like these little hints, these little keys, these little doors unlock, and piece by piece by piece, externally, the world starts to build around you to reflect all of that internal work you've been doing, you know?
Yeah, that's hitting. Like my entire face is hot. Like I can just feel like it's heat. Like, wow. This is amazing. And even the rice, like when you mentioned the rice, like I just like was taken aback because I have a bowl of rice and an elephant and a ceramic elephant at my door.
Oh, amazing.
It's at my door.
Perfect.
So it's there. Yeah, this was perfect. Oh.
Try also blowing some cinnamon powder into, step outside of your house, open the door and blow the cinnamon powder into your house from outside and just and just let it like blow into your house. It's a really good activation for bringing in that heat and that abundance into the home as well.
Perfect.
Yeah.
This was awesome. Dream come true for real, for real.
I love that. Yeah, literally your actual dream come true. I love that.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to remove your spotlight. I will see you around, and thanks for letting us do this in front of everyone. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ciao. And then for everyone who's not driving, if you guys, I'm interested in like your feedback about this. Like this, did you get something if you weren't chosen? Like were things clicking? I really hope that this channeled sort of vibe is bringing something for. Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm seeing people say yes. So this is again just another testament to like the work that you guys are doing and the community that we're building here and the people who really are here clearing their shit and they're fine-tuning their frequency to be aligned with mine and the messages that I'm bringing forward and to the community that we're building. And it's super cool. There will be a recording. I will send this out. I will leave the chat up for another, let's say 2 or 3 minutes. If you guys want to share your Instagram or anything in here, and then people can find each other and you guys can try to build a bit of community. I know it scrolls and they move fast, but if you just with your mouse scroll up, it'll pause the feed and then you can actually write down some of these Instagram accounts. If you're posting yours and someone else is posting theirs, then one of you just like send each other a DM and just be like, hey, I met you at the tarot thing. And then like now you have a new buddy that you can talk about the full moon with or whatever, you know? So yeah, write down as many of them as possible. The chat won't be saved, unfortunately, but if you guys, if you're interested in connecting with someone from the community, maybe just pick a couple of them and write them down. I'll leave it up for another couple minutes. I'm gonna stop the recording.